California, number 13, Avery Barrubias. In center field from Wake Forest, number 5, Navarre Williams. Designated hitter from UC Santa Barbara, number 35, Jonathan Mendez. And on the mound for the Firebirds from San Diego, number 16, Logan Redmond. Managing Firebirds is Kelly Nicholson. Bourne Braves and the Orleans Firebirds, a Cape Baseball League, and the NCAA Pro, is sponsored by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation and positive support of the participants and officials. Vanity, racial, or sexist comments, other intimidating actions directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated and grounds for removal from this ballpark. And for one last reminder, we will remind all Bourne youth baseball players and coaches, enter the gate in left field and line up and led onto the field.
We're back at Bourne Park for Game 15 against the Orleans Firebirds. Welcome into Pregame Tomahawk Talk. I'm Ariel Tamir-Pinsky, joined by Adam Gotkin and Devon Jarvis. Adam, last time we played Orleans, we got the win.
Yeah, it was an absolutely great game, 2-1, a game that came down to the very end. Logan Hughes hit a go-ahead home run in the top of the ninth inning. The big thing in that game for Bourne is that the pitching staff showed up and was solid all throughout, giving up just one run. We all know that's been one of the big issues this season. They gave up 8 runs last night, so if they can see that same type of success today, then Bourne is going to be in for a good game.
Well, let's talk about the pitching a little bit. We have Colin Fisher making his Cape League debut tonight.
Yeah, Colin Fisher as a starter making his Cape League debut. We saw him last week against Katuitt where he pitched 1 2/3, allowed no runs, but did leave a good amount of runners on base. So he showed a lot of promise for Bourne. He's coming in today with about a full week's of rest here in the Cape. He's been here for now a while and had some great bullpens. It'll be very exciting to see what he brings out of Arkansas. He was very good there and should be a good tool for Bourne here on the Cape.
Let's talk a little bit offensively. We've seen a great improvement in the hitting so far this season.
Yeah, especially when it comes to the power. That's definitely really bursted onto the scene over these past couple of days. That's usually how things work out here on the Cape. As we get into the month of July, teams start hitting for more power. These guys are just now used to the wooden bats. It's been a couple of weeks, so they're hitting like themselves and hitting more like their college selves. The batting averages are all rising across the league, and we saw 2 home runs last night. We saw a home run the night before, so it's fun for the fans at home, fun for really everyone to start to see some home runs, except for maybe the pitchers, not so fun for them.
Well, first pitch will be at 6 p.m. here at Bourne Park against the Firebirds, but more pregame coverage coming up next. Continuing on pregame coverage, I'm now joined by Lyle Alenstein. Lyle, talk to me about the Orleans Firebirds pitcher tonight.
Yeah, Logan Redmond from San Diego, really strong pitcher. He's coming off a 2025 campaign, under 3 ERA, 3-1 record, and he's been really dominant on the Cape so far. Through 4 games, 1.23 ERA. This is a strong arm that they've got on the mound for them tonight. Bourne has got to keep the hot bats going from last night.
Yeah, hot bats for sure. They had 11 hits last night, but we didn't see a lot of those until later in the game.
Yeah, you can't just go down early like they did. They had to battle. It was 6-1. Then they fought again, and they made it 8-4. They made it 8-6. It's the falling behind that we've seen on all these losses. When you see them get them bats going, this is a really strong offensive team. But when you're trailing by a lot of runs, it doesn't really make much of a difference.
Well, thanks for joining me, Lyle. We have more pregame coverage coming up next, and first pitch at 6 p.m. Ariel Tamir-Pinsky now joined by Kahio Aloy from Arkansas. Kahio, you've been off to a great start this season. You went 2 for 4 last night with a walk and an RBI. What's your preparation like before games?
Kind of just listen to music, have a good time with the boys, and just having good vibes.
And how's the adjustment to the wooden bats been for you so far?
It's been an adjustment, but I think I just got to trust it and go with it.
And your brother played at YD last summer. Any advice he gave you before you came down to the Cape?
Just go out there and have fun.
Thanks for joining me. Good luck.
It's 4th of July week, and you can feel it in the air. The fans have come out in full force for Bourne Youth Baseball Night and the Bourne Substance-Free Coalition Night. What a crowd we've got here at Durham Park, and what a game we have on hand. The Orleans Firebirds and Bourne Braves set to get going, a rematch of the 2023 Cape League Championship Series. I'm Adam Gotkin, alongside Devon Jarvis. You'll hear from our sideline reporter, Ariel Tamir-Pinsky, later on in the broadcast. Devon, this is a really important game for the Braves. This is a squad that comes into this one with 5 losses in a row, so you got to turn things around here.
You do. This is the month where Bourne gets going usually. Sometimes it happens at the end of the month, sometimes it happens now, but for a team that's made it to 4 consecutive Cape League championships, they're going to need to get the ball rolling right now. They're tied for last in their West Division standings right now with Cotuit. A win over Orleans today would just set them on the right course for the future. This 5-game loss streak is their worst since 2018. One more would make it their worst in a decade. So they need to get things going in the right direction, Adam.
And even though Bourne has lost 5 in a row, they're not in a spot that's too unfamiliar at this point in the season, just 4-9-1. Last year, Bourne was 4-8-1 at the end of the month of June, so this is nothing new for Scotlanders, but at some point, they still do have to turn it around and turn it on.
Yeah, they do. Last year around this time, they lost 8 of 12. It's almost a very similar situation that they're in right now, but it's the consecutive lost games that makes you a little bit concerned, Adam. Really where these losses are stemming from are lack of early starts in games and overall pitching to be consistent throughout the entire one. And that's why I'm really excited today to see Colin Fisher out of Arkansas on the mound. We saw him once as a reliever a few games ago. He gets the ball today as the starter for the Bourne Braves, and unfortunately not a great pitching performance yesterday against the Falmouth Commodores, but if you look after the first inning, it was pretty solid. There were silver linings to take out of the pitching from the last 2 games against Harwich and against Falmouth, so if they can just string it all together for a full 9 innings, they can easily get a win today against the Orleans Firebirds.
We'll tell you a lot more about Bourne starter Colin Fisher in a little bit, but moving over to talk about Orleans, this is a team that also comes into this game on a losing streak. They've lost back-to-back, and the really interesting thing for them is they're 2-6 at home, but 4-2 on the road. So, for whatever reason, playing better away from home, and of course, they're at Durham Park today.
Sometimes that's just the case. This is a rematch of the 2023 Cape League Championship. These two teams surely have some history, and really it just matters about the comfortability of your players, how they can adapt to road environments. And this Durham Park environment is not too friendly, especially for a Wednesday. You got a lot of people cheering for this Bourne team, so we'll see if they're able to keep up that high play on the road.
Well, it should be a great game tonight. The Firebirds come into this game really struggling on offense on the season, hitting just 191. That is tied for the worst in the league. Last time out, they lost 8-2 to the Brewster Whitecaps. They only scored those 2 runs on 1 swing of the bat, and Elijah Ickes 2-run homer in the 6th inning. And the issue for them last night was an issue that's really plagued Bourne a lot this season. That was big innings. Brewster had scored 3 in the 4th, 4 in the 6th. So for Bourne on offense, they'll try and do the same thing against Orleans and have big innings, something that they've struggled to do this season.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the last game between these two, it was a very low-scoring one, and the big innings have been the killer for both of these teams. Bourne, in their games so far, they've only won one where their opponent hasn't had a multiple-run inning, and in 6 of their 9 losses, an opponent has scored at least 3 runs in an inning. So it's been a very common theme when Bourne allows these big innings to compound upon itself. They struggle to come back in games, and Orleans a very similar ordeal. You go back to the last time these two teams played each other, it was one of the lower scoring games for both of them. It was 2-1 in favor of Bourne, and it was 1-1 right up until the 9th inning where Logan Hughes hit a 330-foot home run to left field. So maybe we see another pitching duel, different arms out on the mound today, but still could be a similar result.
When these teams last met, it was 6 games ago. That was actually Bourne's last win, and it was a heck of a ball game. A 2-1 victory for the Braves. They got the lead in the top of the 9th inning from a Logan Hughes solo home run into left field. It was a really interesting game, to say the least. That game capped off Bourne's 3-game winning streak, and they're just going to look for the same mojo in that game and the same thing that brought them to victory, which was good pitching.
It was, and I think sometimes when you know you've beat a team before, it brings you a little bit more self-confidence to step back out there and set yourself on the right track. Bourne hasn't won in just about a week now, so if they can just look at Orleans as a team that's not bigger than them, that's not too difficult to take down, that's all that matters. You need the confidence from both your pitching staff and your starting lineup that you can beat anybody. And this Orleans team, like I mentioned, as one they've already beat, can easily bring that mentality from the Bourne staff.
And it's interesting that Orleans has lost so many games at home and been so good on the road. This is probably going to be the biggest crowd of the season yet at Durham Park. It is a busy, busy time out here on the Cape. That is just how 4th of July week goes for Devon and I. It's usually about a 15 or so minute commute.
Oh boy.
It took about 50 today, so that's just how it is. But it's fun, and it is always a great crowd. It's, again, Bourne Youth Baseball Night, so all the kids are on the field, and Bourne Substance Free Coalition Night, so all the trucks are out. It's really cool. Well, we're just a few minutes from first pitch, so Devon, why don't you go ahead and give us our starting lineups?
Absolutely. Beginning with the Orleans Firebirds, Anthony Potestio is leading off, playing left field out of UCSD. Batting second is Michael O'Shaughnessy, playing first base. Batting third, Elijah Iquez, playing shortstop. Batting fourth, Robbie Levy, catching today in the cleanup spot. Michael Crossland is batting fifth, playing right field. Batting sixth is Alejandro Garza, playing third base. Abri Coruvia is playing second base, batting seventh. Javar Williams is batting eighth, playing center field. And rounding out the lineup is the designated hitter, Jonathan Mendez. For Bourne, Riker Waite leads off, the shortstop out of Vanderbilt. Braden Holcomb plays in every game this season and continues that streak, batting second, playing third base. Cade Lewis, also a player who has played in 14 games, now 15 today, playing designated hitter and batting third. Kahio Aloy is in the cleanup spot, playing right field. Logan Hughes is batting fifth, playing first base. John LeGrand is back in the middle of the lineup, playing center field and batting sixth. Batting seventh is Gavin Kelly, playing second base. Batting eighth, Campbell Smithwick. He's behind the dish defensively. And Nick Groves is batting ninth, playing left field. Getting the ball for the Orleans Firebirds is Logan Redeman. And Colin Fisher gets the ball for the Bourne Braves.
Well, we'll step aside with the national anthem getting underway. We'll be back in a moment for first pitch. Bourne Braves and Orleans Firebirds in just a minute.
Please remain standing for the playing of our national anthem. Joining the players on the field this evening are players and coaches from Bourne Youth Baseball. Singing tonight's anthem is the Hyannis Sound. Founded in 1994, the Hyannis Sound has been providing top-tier a cappella music to Cape Cod audiences for 3 decades. Now in their 32nd summer season, the group has evolved into an all-star level ensemble composed of 10 of the best male college-age singers in the country. Singing music that ranges from 2020s hits to songs dating all the way back to the 1930s. Hyannis Sound shows are sure to be enjoyed by people of all ages and walks of life. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land
So with that, we are just about ready to get going from Dorn Park. What a beautiful night for baseball. A lot of clouds in the sky, but we're not expecting any rain. It did rain a little bit earlier in the day, but we have just been so lucky throughout this entire season with the weather. No rainouts yet, but right now 72 degrees. It does feel like 77. Winds blowing 4 miles an hour to the southwest. The humidity is the one issue. It is up at 85%, but that's just a summer out on Cape Cod. It is always humid out here. Well, we gave you the starting lineups earlier. Again, for the Firebirds, who bat first as the visiting team, it is Potestio, O'Shaughnessy, and Ikaz to get things going in the first inning. And they'll face off against Colin Fisher, the lefty out of Arkansas. He had a spectacular sophomore year with a squad that made it all the way to the College World Series. A 4.62 ERA. He appeared in 16 games, started 5, went 25 and a third, gave up 20 hits, 12 walks, 31 strikeouts, and just 2 home runs. Fisher has already pitched once this summer, and he was really solid in that outing, Devon.
Yeah, he was. Didn't allow any runs, only 1 2/3 innings pitched, but still a really good showing. He left some runners on base, which were saved and not turned into runs. So now he gets a fresh start, gets to begin this game, and is one of those really exciting players for Bourne who we don't really know much about. There's not a lot of those guys left on this roster where we're still wondering what he can bring to the table, and as a starter, he should be exhilarating.
This Firebirds team wearing the visiting camo red jerseys that I know you're interested by, I guess you could say.
Yeah,
Devon.
it's unique. It's a unique look. I mean, we can see those pristine platinum white jerseys that Bourne is wearing right now, but if you look at the Orleans dugout on the other side, they've got these cut-off camo jerseys. They're unique, and of course designed by Marcus Drummond. Yeah, see them right there?
That's
definitely a unique look.
That's the thing, as you said, those jerseys designed by Marcus Stroman, the major league pitcher who I would say probably most famously is a New York Yankee, but
yeah,
it was in the major leagues for a long time, played for the Orleans Firebirds. He designed those jerseys. He was a fan of the cutoff look, and so that's why the Firebirds wear them. Colin Fisher goes fastball, sinker, curveball, changeup. And he's looking to have a solid first start of the summer here. The Braves had a big-time starter from Arkansas last season, Ben Bybee, another big guy just like Fisher, someone who looked pretty similar as well, also sported a really stylish mustache, and Bybee was always really good for this Bourne team, so that's the hope today that his fellow Razorback Colin Fisher can do the same. In the field for the Braves, it's Campbell Smithwick behind home plate, Logan Hughes at first, Gavin Kelly at second, Riker Waite plays shortstop, and Braden Holcomb plays third base. The outfield from left to right goes Nick Groves, John LeGrand, and Kahio Aloy. The umpires today, Jeff Merzel is behind home plate calling balls and strikes, Jim Fonseca at first base, and Mike Rabideau at third. So we're ready to get going. Anthony Potestio makes his way into the batter's box. He has played in just 2 games this season, but has already made an impact. 2 for 6 with a double, 3 walks, and a stolen base. The left-handed hitter out of UC San Diego stands in. First pitch of the game is upstairs, and the count 1-0.
A little bit slower start than yesterday, Adam.
Yeah, yesterday we had a first pitch of the game home run, so basically any option would be slower.
Oh, nice. There you go.
Fisher finds the zone to even the count. Control is going to be key for the Braves today. It's a pitching staff that has really struggled with throwing strikes this season. They have the most walks in the league, as there's a base hit back up the middle from Potestio, and he continues his strong start to the summer.
Now batting from Davis with number 10.
Leadoff single for the Firebirds, an offense that was hitting just 191 coming into this game, worst in the Cape League. So Michael O'Shaughnessy stands in. He has the highest batting average on the Firebirds at just .255. He's the only Firebird to play in every game this season. Left on left again. Fastball swung on and missed.
A lot of these recent games, Bourne are facing teams that don't have the most powerful offense. And you look at Falmouth, you look at Chatham, you look at Harwich, and now Orleans. These aren't teams who are really high ranking in batting average. It's more what they can do to draw free passes.
Nice.
Looping curveball in for a strike on the inside part of the plate. That at 75 miles an hour. Petestio at first. 1-for-1 stealing this summer, 9-for-10 this past year at the University of California, San Diego. Pickoff attempt, but Petestio back in easily. There's a whole bunch of Cali kids on the Firebirds, as always, with head coach Kelly Nicholson, who's now in his 20th year as the manager. He is a California man himself. The 0-2 misses outside on a fastball. Quick throw to first, and that one almost in time. Petestio had to crawl back into the bag.
Messed up the slide a little bit. It's a well-groomed field today at Bourne.
Michael O'Shaughnessy went 0 for 2 yesterday. He did walk 2 times, though. Came in to score 1 run. He had a hit when these teams last met. Sends one to first base, a chance for 2. Hughes to second for 1, and the relay to first is in time for the double play. 3-6-3, Logan Hughes to Riker Waite, right back to Hughes. And Bourne gets 2 outs on just 1 swing of the bat. It's the 14th double play turned by the Braves this season, and just the 7th hit into by the Firebirds. That's the 2nd least in the league.
Excellent way to capitalize on that opportunity defensively. Logan Hughes with a fantastic pick at first. He's a guy who plays first but does not have a ton of experience there for the Braves this season, so great to see him already start out well.
First pitch to Elijah Ikas in for a strike on a fastball inside. Ikas went 2 for 4 last time out with a 2-run home run. That was the only offense all game long for the Firebirds in their 8-2 loss to the Brewster Whitecaps last night. The homer for Ikas came in the 6th inning.
Nice.
Another slow curveball catches the edge of the zone, and it's 1-2. Colin Fisher, after giving up the leadoff single, looking to go down facing the minimum. From the wind, here's the 1-2. High fly ball carrying deep into right center field. And that drops and one hops towards the wall. John LeGrand throws in, but into second base standing up with a double is Elijah Ikas. And man, he's been swinging the bat really well recently.
He has 2 home runs on the season and gets his first double of the year right there. He swings a really powerful bat. And Bourne, who have been seeing a lot more power recently, will probably have to worry about those big shots at Doran Park. Only 2 games ago, they saw their first home run here. And yesterday, they allowed one for the 2nd time all season and hit one themselves.
That brings Robbie Levy to the plate. He watches the first pitch curveball in for a strike. Levy's got 6 RBIs this year. He's been one of the top guys in this Orleans lineup when it comes to bringing runners home. Ikas has scored 6 runs. 0-1. Another curveball. It's a pitch that we've seen a lot early on from Colin Fisher.
Yeah, and it's really moving well. It's just about location right now. He's gotten a couple guys to miss or draw soft contact.
Fastball low and outside at 88, 2-1.
It was a curveball on which O'Shaughnessy grounded into the double play. He got way out ahead of it.
Levy from George Washington University in Washington, D.C.
There you go.
Fastball at the knees, a called strike. It's 2-2. Levy stayed home. He's from Oakton, Virginia, which is just outside of the district. looking to get his team on the board. Here's the 2-2. That's back up the middle. Long play for Wade. He can't get there, and that'll bring home a run. An RBI single for Robbie Levy. Elijah Iquez crosses home. It's 1-0 Firebirds in the top of the first inning.
Now batting from UC San Diego, number 28, Michael Crossland.
Already the third hit of the top of the first. Michael Crossland, the right fielder, stands in, looking to extend this first.
Really good hitting so far. All balls in play. Just 2 outs from O'Shaughnessy's double play.
Oh, and they get the runner caught in a pickle. It's a second, and Gavin Kelly tags out Robbie Levy. So a little bit of damage done. 3 base hits, 1 run comes in to score on the Levy RBI single, and that does it for the top of the first. The score, 1-0 Firebirds. We'll be back in a moment. You're watching the Bourne Braves Broadcast Network on Cape League TV.
Very interesting inning. Check, check.
If you can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group, protecting the possible.
There hasn't been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed. You can improve your bat speed and reach your goals working 10 to 15 minutes a day on this a couple of times a week. That's a no-brainer for every player.
Time for the bottom of the first inning. The Orleans Firebirds have jumped out to an early 1-0 lead over the Bourne Braves. It's a right-hander, Logan Retterman, to get the start today for the Firebirds. He is starting his first game of the summer. Comes out of UC San Diego, goes fastball, slider, changeup, curveball. He has been a big guy out of the bullpen for the Firebirds with 4 appearances. He is 1 for 2 on save opportunities, a .075 whip, which is very impressive in 7 1/3. He's been big with the strikeout, 10 Ks, and that's been an issue for this Bourne offense this season, Devon.
Yeah, it has. If Bourne face a pitcher today that can just shut them down, that's the real criminal part of it, because they're facing an offense in Orleans that's not too potent. They have to take advantage of that and put runs up on the board. They looked really good yesterday offensively. You put up 6 runs and you lose, you can live with the fact that your offense played well.
Retterman hasn't given up a run since opening day. He'll face off first against Riker Waite. Last night he hit a home run on the very first pitch of the game in Falmouth. Maybe he does it again from the wine. No, it's a fastball outside. Waite said that that's the second home run in his life on the first pitch of a game. His first ever was when he was 12 years old, so it's been a while. Waite hits a fly ball into right field, and that's a easy play for Michael Crossland for out number 1.
Wind's blowing out today, so we could see some also it being humid allows the ball to fly a little further. You've got some powerful hitters in this Bourne lineup who can likely have a chance to put it over the wall.
Braden Holcomb stands in, the third baseman out of Vanderbilt. One of 4 Braves to play in every game this season. One of just 12 players in the league to do that. Watches the first pitch upstairs, a ball.
You talk about that. It's very interesting the way Scott Landers has decided to curate his lineup this year with 4 players who have played in every single game. That's more than anybody by 2.
A 1-0. Holcomb couldn't hold up.
You get a lot more consistency with your guys who come up, so you're hoping those guys can stay for a really long time and
get a lot more acclimated. They have the most reps of anybody in the league.
Redeman winds and fires. That's fouled off. Right-hander was spectacular this past season at UC San Diego. He made 11 appearances, 9 starts, and had a 2.29 ERA. All West Coast Conference first team. And he's also a two-way, but went just 2 for 25 at the plate this past season. So only pitching out here on the Cape.
Entered the transfer portal 3 days ago, too.
1-2, fouled off.
So he's looking for a new home. He's been pitching really well here on the Cape and has a chance to perform in front of these scouts, who I'm sure some of them are there for him.
One of the things we've seen a lot on the Cape over the past couple of years is the influx of college coaches visiting recruiting. So now your scout areas are almost twice as full. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Holcomb couldn't hold up on a fastball upstairs, and it's 2 up, 2 down to start the day for Logan Redeman.
Now batting from Wake Forest, number 23, Cade Lewis.
So that brings Cade Lewis up, one of the other Bourne players who's played in every game this season. He's the designated hitter for the second straight game. Leads Bourne in batting average at .327 and sends a first pitch foul ball out of play. Lewis went 1 for 5 last night. Came in to score on his 1 hit. He leads Bourne in doubles with 4. Watches that one low. Middle infielder's playing pretty far back against Lewis. As another pitch misses outside. At second base, Avery Covarrubias is playing all the way back on the grass. Lewis hits a ball hard into left field, back to the track, and that bounces over the fence. Well, they call it a home run. The left fielder, Potestio, is calling, saying that that ball bounced over. But Cade Lewis, at least for now, has a home run. Now Kelly Nicholson's out of the dugout. I think that might have bounced in front of the wall based on the reaction of the left fielder, Potestio, and also kind of the reaction of the bullpen. But we'll see. Always a bit of a thing here. I think it bounced over and skipped over.
Let's see how they call this one, because Potestio also did slow down as he approached the wall.
Well, because he was, I think, standing because it was going to bounce back. He can't run all the way into the wall, so he stopped to wait for it to bounce. I think that bounced in front. I mean, Cade Lewis had a huge smile on his face. Biggest smile we've seen. I don't know.
The bullpen also called for the home run. But not sure if it's the boy who cried wolf a little bit.
I think that's them trying to help out their own team. I mean, based on the reaction of the bullpen guys when the umpire said home run, that's why I think, because their reaction wasn't when the ball went over. It was when the home run was called. You'd think the reaction would be when the ball went over, right?
This is now the 3rd time we've had a controversy on whether or not something's a home run. It was with Peyton Bonds.
The issue with Bonds, though, is he didn't go back to the dugout. He made it seem like it was a double.
Yeah.
Lewis did a good job of going back to the dugout at least. Oh, they called a home run. Wow. And the bullpen is going nuts.
Now batting from Arkansas, number 25.
Yeah, there's no reviews in this league. But the score is 1-1. This is old school sports for you.
Yeah.
Call on the field, whatever the umpires say.
There has to be a much more efficient way to handle that, but
not real. I mean, we can't have video review out here. It's a lot to ask for, so there's really not a more efficient way. It's just hope. But they call it a home run, and Kahio Aloy stands in. Count even at 1. Aloy just has a absolute rocket of a bat. He is unbelievable when it comes to power. Hit a ball 106 into left field yesterday. He's 3 for 9 on the young season, went 2 for 4 last night. Picked up his first RBI of the season on that 106-mile-an-hour base hit. Stays back on the 1-2. Loy works the count full to 3-2. He's walked once this season. Talked about this a little bit last night, but patience at the plate going to be one of the key things to work on for Loy this summer. Here's the payoff pitch. Called strike 3 on a slider outside part of the plate. And that does it for the bottom of the first inning. Bourne ties the game on a home run into left field. I guess we'll call it that. That's the official score.
Objectively.
It cannot. It was objectively called a home run on the field. So with that, we would like to thank a few of our sponsors. Keystone Place at Buzzards Bay is Bourne's premier senior living community. Conveniently located adjacent to the Cape Cod Canal. Visit us at KeystonePlace@BuzzardsBay.com. Also, Marty Chevrolet, your dealer for the people, proudly supports the Bourne Braves baseball team. See all our cars and trucks at MartyChevrolet.com and go Braves. We'll step aside for a moment, be back for the second on the Bourne Braves Broadcast Network and Cape League TV.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be the official banking partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod 5 offers a broad range of financial products and services tailored for every stage in your financial journey. Reach out to us. We're here to help.
If you can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group, protecting the possible.
Get ready for big results with our small machines. With more power, performance, comfort, and savings, they're ready for every job. And we're ready with plenty of inventory, the best support in the business, same-day parts availability, and locations across the Northeast. So you can always be ready to work. Milton Cat, always ready.
We're back for the second inning from Durham Park, all even at 1. Michael Crossland stands in. He was at the plate when the top of the first came to an end, as Robbie Levy was caught in a pickle. First pitch from Colin Fisher misses outside on a fastball. Fisher gave up 3 hits in the top of the first. Was able to get out of the first with a double play, and then a double and a single did bring in a run. From the wind, here's the 2-0. Hit softly towards third. Holcomb gathers and throws crossbody to first for out number 1. So a nice job to get the first out by Colin Fisher. That's something that Bourne struggled with a bit yesterday. They let a number of leadoff runners on at the start of the game, so a good job there to sit down the opening batter.
And sometimes Fisher just needs to settle in a little bit, get past that top of the order, and get comfortable against these maybe not as dangerous hitters and find your rhythm.
Alejandro Garza stands in. First pitch misses up and outside on an 88-mile-an-hour sinker. Garza hitting .212 this year. He's been very efficient with his hits with 5 RBIs. Called strike and the count even at 1. I mentioned this earlier, but tonight is Bourne Substance-Free Coalition night at the park. Always a very fun night because the Bourne Substance-Free Coalition brings a bunch of trucks and activities to the park. They're out down the left field line by the parking lot. I mean, I couldn't help myself. I went over and touched a truck, went up and sat in one of the cool trucks. They also have police dogs that are doing some demonstrations. It's a very cool event as, oh man, there's a rocket into left field. It turns Groves around, and that is well out of here. Alejandro Garza with his first home run of the summer, and it's 2-1 Firebirds. Maybe a little bit of ball don't lie.
Could just be that a little bit, Adam. That ball was absolutely hammered out into left field, 370 feet. The dugout this time tried to call it like it was an automatic double, their bullpen rather, but still a good effort from both sides. That one, like you said, ball don't lie.
Avery Covarrubias stands in. First pitch, outside fastball. We've seen the power just absolutely explode over the last couple of days. Last home game at Dorn Park was the first time we saw a homer here all summer, and then there were 2 home runs in a Bourne game for the first time this year last night.
In the first 12 games, there were three home runs total. 2 from Logan Hughes, 1 from Noah Franco. In the past 2 games, 2 innings, there's been 5.
Big hack and a miss. 1 and 2.
2 today, 2 yesterday, and 1 the day before.
Covarrubias hit a 3-run home run 2 nights ago against Wareham, but takes a hack and a miss on a fastball upstairs to go down swinging. First strikeout of the day for Colin Fisher, and 2 outs here in the top of the second. So Javar Williams stands in. He's hitting 200 on the season. Oh for 4 last night with 3 strikeouts. He's gone down by way of the strikeout 11 times this summer. Williams out of Wake Forest, the native of Dartmouth, Mass, not too far away from here. Played last summer with the Amsterdam Mohawks in the Perfect Game League, one of the incredible organizations in summer baseball. They dominate that league just about every season. And there's been a number of Bourne Braves who have gone through Wake Forest who have played in Amsterdam, one of them being last year's star shortstop Merrick Houston. The 2-0, outside fastball, and it's 3-0. I had a chance to go to an Amsterdam Mohawks game a couple of years ago. It's a lively atmosphere. It feels like a minor league crowd. Huge stadium, and they sell it out with beer gardens and just so many different fun things. As the former Mohawk takes a 4-pitch walk, and it's another base runner on for the Firebirds.
It is pretty remarkable, the amount of summer league teams that draw the crowds they do out in the Northwoods and the West Coast League, the PGCBL, which isn't really a huge one, that draws very good players, but not ones probably as good as the Cape or the Northwoods, and they still get thousands of people to come to their games.
Thousands of people here tonight. Most likely the highest attended Bourne game yet this season. Number 9 hitter Jonathan Mendez stands in and fouls off the first pitch. Something a bit interesting. Mendez, the designated hitter, batting 9th. That's something you don't always see. It's just a bit interesting. You know, today it ends up working out because he gets to hit in the second, but you'd think getting your first action in the 3rd inning could be a little bit difficult.
It's definitely peculiar. Not typical for a lineup. Maybe you want the guy as a second leadoff. Has 3 RBIs on the season, so you don't have that opportunity to put runners on base in front of him with your stronger batters in the lineup. So definitely very interesting.
Mendez has been forced to become a lot more versatile this summer. He was a infielder for his whole career, but played in left field for the first time ever last night, or in his last game against Wareham. Pickoff back to first, and the runner back in time. Talked about Substance-Free Coalition tonight. You can hear some horns in the background. That's what those trucks are.
I'm surprised you didn't give a little honk.
No, I thought that would be a little bit overboard. I just had some fun playing with the trucks.
I was a big touch-a-truck guy back in the day.
How could you not be? I mean, the kids out there were just having a blast. The 0-1 runner going. That's back up the middle, just over the leaping Kelly and into center field. A successful hit and run, and it's runners on the corners for the top of the order here in the top of the second. That's already the 5th hit of the day for Orleans, and we're only in the 2nd inning.
They're seeing Fisher really well right now, and a lot of it is hard contact. You look at all these balls, except for the double play and the ground out to Braden Holcomb, all of them have reached the outfield.
Anthony Potestio got the first hit of the game. Takes the first pitch in for a strike on a curveball. Potestio singled in the last inning. He was then out at second, caught in a double play. Big hack and a miss, and Fisher can get out of the top of the second here. Bourne gave up 2 runs in each of the first 4 innings yesterday. Have given up 1 run in each of the first 2 so far in this one. Fisher steps off, and he's got the runner in a pickle, but he's not going to do anything with the ball. Doesn't want to risk allowing the runner from third, Williams, to score.
That's the smart play. You don't want to allow an unnecessary run to score when you have the batter at the plate in a 0-2 count. Work on getting him out, and those runners won't even matter.
Scott Landers heads out to talk with Jeff Merzell, the home plate umpire now. Not sure exactly what he's going to be asking about here. They didn't call a balk or anything.
It's a conversation that includes some smiles, although you're only looking at the back of Scott Landers' head right now. He is laughing.
Yeah, this is about the most that I've seen Scott Landers laugh in a conversation with an umpire, maybe ever. But he heads back into the dugout, seeming to be pretty high spirits, considering a visit out to talk with an umpire.
I really don't know what that conversation could be about.
Either way, 2 in scoring position with 2 outs in the count 0-2. Potestio doesn't have any RBIs this summer. Could get a pair with a base hit. Now Jeff Merzell takes off his mask because Kelly Nicholson comes out.
He thinks that's too many times that Fisher has stepped off, possibly.
Well, it's not like Major League Baseball where there's a rule for just 2 disengagements. You can do it as much as you want. And so now we finally are set for the 0-2. The pitch. This is low. Slow chopper back up the middle. Kelly gets the out at first. A close play at the bag, but a nice job by Gavin Kelly to sprint to a slow bouncer, and Bourne gets out of the top of the second with 2 runners in scoring position. We'll go into the bottom of the second with 5, 6, 7 due up for the Braves. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Bourne Braves Broadcast Network on Cape League TV.
Be sure to visit our new and improved merchandise store located near the front gate.
Get ready for big results with our small machines. With more power, performance, comfort, and savings. They're ready for every job. And we're ready with plenty of inventory, the best support in the business, same-day parts availability, and locations across the Northeast. So you can always be ready to work. Milton Cat, always ready.
There hasn't been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed. You can improve your bat speed and reach your goals working 10 to 15 minutes a day on this a couple of times a week. That's a no-brainer for every player.
Now batting from Texas, tag number 14, Logan Hughes.
Logan Hughes leads things off for Bourne in the bottom of the second inning. Braves hope to continue this trend of each team scoring a run in every game so far. We've seen 2 bombs already in this game. Hughes watches the first pitch upstairs.
Hughes certainly a guy who can get one for himself.
The lefty leads Bourne in home runs with 2. Hit one the last time that these teams faced off, and it proved to be the difference maker. A solo homer in the top of the 9th into left field. Hughes pops one up, carrying far into center. And the wind turns Williams around a little bit, but he hauls it in for out number 1 of the bottom of the second.
That ball hit further than his home run to clinch the game in Orleans. 337
Just funny how
feet.
things work, huh? So John LeGrand stands in. Once again hitting in the middle of the order today in the number 6 spot. He was Bourne's leadoff hitter for a large part of the season, but now he's batting towards the bottom, and he hits a slow bouncer to second, an easy play for out number 2. Yesterday it worked out as LeGrand went 2 for 4, but today starts his day with a ground out and quickly 2 up, 2 down. Now it's Gavin Kelly to the dish. Kelly's had a great start to the season, joined the Braves just a few weeks ago and is hitting 300. Had another good game yesterday, 2 for 4 with a walk.
He's been swinging the bat beautifully to begin the season. He's only been here for about a week, but what he's already done for Bourne has been, just as much as guys who've been here the whole season.
That runs in and hits Kelly. It's the first time this season he's been hit by a pitch, and Bourne has a man on with 2 gone.
Now batting from Oklahoma State, number 45, Campbell Smithwick.
Kelly also a guy who can get going in the base paths. His 2 steals, or rather 3 steals this season. The Smithwick can put a ball in the outfield. A guy who has swung the bat well in stints can easily try and tie this ball game.
His batting average on the season at 300. First pitch, a fastball outside. Smithwick came in last night towards the end of the game after Jimmy Keenan got a bit shaken up. Smithwick struck out swinging in the 8th inning.
6 players in this Bourne starting lineup who are batting at or above 300.
It's unbelievably impressive. As a team, Bourne's hitting 249. However, they just haven't been able to score runs, just 3.5 per game. Big hack and a miss. It's 1-1. That 3.5 runs per game for Bourne is third worst on the Cape. The team batting average, though, is second best. Whoa, watch out. Smithwick's bat goes flying towards the Orleans dugout. And the count 1-2.
Looks like Wrecker Waite will assist with some pine tar here to keep the bat sticking. Let go of that one right as it was reaching the end of his swing.
Definitely could use some. It's a very humid day, so everything's just a bit more slippery than normal. And you need a little bit more pine tar. Smithwick looking to extend the inning here. From the stretch, here's the 1-2. Outside fastball at 93. Nick Grove stands on deck, Bourne's number 9 hitter. Smithwick hoping to give him a chance to hit here in the second. Smithwick watches a pitch outside, throw into second. Bounces away from the shortstop Iquez. It's a stolen base for Gavin Kelly, his third of the season. He's now 3 for 3 on the base paths. So Smithwick could bring a man home here. The count full. It's foul back. Firebirds offense has been really just only productive at the start of games this season. They've struggled to score in the final few innings, so Bourne can get ahead. That makes a big difference. Smithwick sends one into left, and the play is made by Voccio as his glasses fall off. So out number 3, Bourne strands a man in scoring position. Go down with 4 coming to the plate on no hits, no runs, and no errors. Before we step aside and go into the third, are you ready to dominate the diamond and pitch like a pro with the Cape's own Keith Bildo? Then join us at the K-Plex, where champions are made. Don't just play the game, own it. Visit the K-Plex today and unleash your full potential. Located at 6 Forest Park Drive in Bourne. Find us on Facebook or at thek-plex.com. Elevate your game at the K-Plex. Gentlemen, tired of unisex salons that smell like chemicals and never quite get your cut right? Then rediscover the timeless barbershop experience. Barber pools, sports on TV, great conversation, and a cut that actually suits you. At the Picasset Barbershop, Kevin brings back the tradition with expert cuts and straight razor shaves in a space designed for men to relax, recharge, and feel at home. Visit Picasset Hardware at Picasset Barbershop at 3369 Barlow's Landing Road. Picasset, your next great haircut is waiting. We'll be back for the third inning in just a moment on the Bourne Braves Broadcast Network.
You can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group, protecting the possible.
Get ready for big results with our small machines. With more power, performance, comfort, and savings. They're ready for every job. And we're ready with plenty of inventory, the best support in the business, same-day parts availability, and locations across the Northeast. So you can always be ready to work. Milton Cat, always ready.
Into the third, the score 2-1 Orleans. Colin Fisher, the Brave starter, back out onto the mound. First pitch curveball in for a strike. Michael O'Shaughnessy grounds it into a double play his first time to the plate. Takes a pitch outside to even the count at 1.
This Orleans team overall, seeing Colin Fisher very, very well. Only 1 strikeout so far. And a lot of hard contact.
It's a Firebirds offense that has struggled for a large part of the season, but looking good today with already 5 hits. Fastball at the letters, a called strike, and it's 1-2. Here's the pitch. Jams down the third base line, and the count's still 1-2. Four other games in action around the Cape League today. A battle in the East Division. The Chatham Anglers offense just absolutely dominating, up 9-2 over Brewster in the bottom of the 5th inning. Falmouth YD tied at 6 also in the bottom of the 5th, so just an offensive explosion around the league.
Brewster also yet to lose a game at home. Could not drop their first against the Anglers.
Here's the 1-2. Called strike 3 on a curveball right down the middle. Nice pitch by Colin Fisher. He gets his second strikeout of the day to start the 3rd. We've mentioned this a couple times already on the broadcast, but it's not a surprise to see the offenses start to really kick into full gear now that we're in the month of July. All these players are fully settled in with the wood bats. Curveball misses outside from Fisher to the number 3 hitter, Elijah Iquez. He had a double back in the 1st and then came in to score. Fastball upstairs. Iquez was one of the top prospects out of the state of Hawaii at a high school, along with Bourne's Kahio Aloy, as there's a line out to second. 99 miles an hour right into the glove of Gavin Kelly.
Almost made him flinch, but he didn't have to move at all to grab it.
So Robbie Levy stands in. He had an RBI single back up the middle his first time up. Colin Fisher looking for his first 1-2-3 inning of the day. He gave up a run in both the 1st and 2nd. First pitch fouled off by Levy. Couple arms starting to get up and stretch in the Bourne bullpen. That's Derek Smith getting loose. But he's at the very beginning of his warm-up. From the line, the 1-1. Big hack and a miss on a curveball, and it's 1-2.
That curveball's really been, no pun intended, but hit or miss for these Orleans batters. If they've been able to see it and wait on it, they've been able to crush it. If not, it's making them look silly.
That time it breaks a little bit too much. The big thing is when Fisher keeps it very low in the zone, keeps it at the knees, it's so hard for the Orleans hitters to hit, but if he leaves it upstairs, that's when they can turn on it.
Also, its horizontal break is 20 inches, so it can get guys to chase outside.
Big hack and a miss on another curveball. Strike 3, and that is the second strikeout of the top of the 3rd of the day for Colin Fisher. He puts down the Firebirds 1-2-3. We're into the bottom of the 3rd. The Braves will send 9-1-2 to the plate. You're watching the Bourne Braves Broadcast Network on Cape League TV.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
If you need to dig, lift, move, grade, clear, or cut, pump, weld, clean, light, and just about anything else, dial up the rental source for the newest and the most reliable equipment in New England. Staffed with equipment and construction experts, Milton Rents, your local source.
You can make any bat feel lighter by adding a velo puck knob. Instead of having to go get a whole entirely new bat, you can simply add the puck to it. Players can use this with any bat. It's basically going to shift the weight of the bat a little bit more towards the hands. Players are able to hit the ball a lot harder just by simply adding the puck on.
Nick Groves leads off the bottom of the third inning. The number 9 hitter for the Braves, hitting 133 on the summer. It's 2 for 15. A pitch comm issue with the right-hander for the Firebirds, Logan Redeman. Seems to be all figured out, so he steps back on the rubber, and we're set to get going in the bottom of the third. Groves slaps one into right center. That drops for a base hit. Long round around first, and then Groves retreats back to the bag, but it's a leadoff single. For the first time today, the Braves have a leadoff man on, with now the leadoff man in the lineup, Riker Waite, standing in.
Great to see Groves kind of settle into his time in Bourne here. He was such a dangerous batter for Hyannis a summer ago, and now that he's kind of found his groove, shaken off the cobwebs, he's been a really consistent man. He's started the season 0 for 9 and since then been really solid.
2 for 6 since, now 3 for 7. Riker Waite flew out to right his first time up. This time hits a ball towards second through the legs of Corubius. That puts runners on the corners. What easily could have been a 4-6-3 double play instead turns into a Braves opportunity here in the bottom of the third.
That one for sure an E4. He just started trying to make the play towards second base before he had the ball secured in his glove. It's like when you're playing catch with your dad when you were younger and he says, don't take your eye off the ball.
Just took his eye off the ball there and was too quick to try and send the relay throw, and so Braden Holcomb stands in. He went down swinging his first time up. Any ball into the outfield, and really any ball put in play would most likely bring the runner home, although a big shift by this Orleans defense, so a double play would be hard to turn. They got 3 on the left side of the infield. Riker Waite barely gets back to first in time. You know, it's interesting to see Kelly Nicholson use the 3 guys on the left side of the infield, because that's not allowed in Major League Baseball anymore. It's banned under the new shift rules. You have to have 2 on each side of second base, but Nicholson just taking advantage of these older rules on the Cape. Holcomb, it's a shallow ball towards center. Catch made by Williams, and it's a perfect throw home. Smart decision by Nick Groves to sit put at third.
Good idea by Holcomb, just didn't get enough of it into the outfield. It kind of caught the inside of his bat on the high and tight pitch, which limited the sac fly. But you have some really fast guys in both Groves and Waite, so another attempt on the sac fly here by Cade Lewis could tie the ball game for sure.
Wade Lewis hit a called home run his first time up. That
objectively it was
objectively bounced in front of the fence, but called a home run on the field, and without video review, it stayed that call, and now he can bring another runner home on a ball into the outfield, a pitch out, and Lewis ahead 1-0. He's got 9 ribbies this year. That leads Bourne. Or 10 now, actually, with that solo shot. Was his first homer of the summer. Lewis watches a changeup in for a strike. Wouldn't be surprised to see Riker Wade at first base take off for an attempted double steal. He's a perfect 4 for 4 this summer.
They're keeping a close eye on him.
Orleans in another shift, 3 to the right side of the infield this time. Lewis bounces one towards the right side. It'll be a tough double play, and there's no choice but to go to first. They do get the out, but the runner comes in to score, and we're all even at 2 in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Cade Lewis gets his second RBI already on the game. So Kahio Aloy stands in with Riker Wade at second.
A great hit there by Lewis, not to hit it too hard, but just dribble it down the line. Almost a swinging bunt there. You advance the runners without getting onto first.
Aloy 3 for 10 this year, got his first RBI last game, and it was a bit of an interesting one. It was a single with the bases loaded that only scored one because he hit it so hard that it one-hopped into the glove of the outfielder, 107 off the bat, and the guy at second didn't have time to come home. Riker Wade on his way to third as Aloy hits it through the right side. A perfectly executed hit and run as Riker Wade slides in safely, and Bourne leads 3-2. Kahio Aloy with 2 RBIs in as many games. The Braves have the lead.
It's great to see Aloy finding his footing here in the Cape. Not that he started out poor, but he's just been there every single at-bat in it to try and put runs on the board for the Braves, and he's just seen it super well, gotten comfortable with the wood bat, and he looks like an experienced veteran for Bourne.
He's talked about in the top 5 conversation in next year's draft, and there's a reason for it. We're seeing why early on. Logan Hughes flew up to center to lead off the bottom of the 2nd, his first time to the plate. Watches a curveball in for a strike, and the count 1-1. Aloy makes it back to first. Firebirds in the big shift once again. Hit to the other side, and a cross-body throw is in time. The arm strength from Alejandro Garza gets Logan Hughes out. So that does it for the 3rd inning, but before we step aside, we will send things down to our sideline reporter, Ariel Tamir-Pinsky, to tell us more.
Well, guys, one of the challenges for Cape coaches throughout the league is balancing wanting to win and this being a developmental league for collegiate players. I talked to field manager Scott Landers about it. He said, well, right now, we're just trying to turn it around, snap the losing streak. The Bravos have not been on a 5-game losing streak since 2018, but he also said we have faith in all of our guys. It's all about just putting them in their right place, guys.
Ariel, thank you so much. Bourne with a good start to this one, up 3-2 after 3. When we come back, Devon Jarvis will take over the play-by-play.
You can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group. Protecting the possible.
Get ready for big results with our small machines. With more power, performance, comfort, and savings. They're ready for every job. And we're ready with plenty of inventory, the best support in the business. same-day parts availability, and locations across the Northeast. So you can always be ready to work. Milton Cat, always ready.
Thanks for hanging with us. It's almost 4th of July here, and Doran Park is packed with Bourne fans. It's been a fun game so far as the Braves lead the Orleans Firebirds 3-2. Fisher remains on the mound, and the first batter is Michael Crossland.
Mentioned earlier that Derek Smith was getting loose in the Bourne bullpen. He's now sat down.
Smith, one of those pitchers who we could see get in today. It's been quite a while for him. Last time out was against Falmouth a week ago today.
Colin Fisher's only 52 pitches in, so no reason to pull him just yet now that he's calmed things down. And for Smith, it wasn't a full warm-up, so he may have just been getting his arm loose. There is a right-hander getting warmed up right now in the Firebirds bullpen. That's number 47, Truman Pauly out of Harvard.
Smart guy, as Crossland will make his way to first base on the base on balls. The second walk of the day for Fisher, who started out a little shaky. These Orleans players were seeing him very well as Garza steps back in. Last time he was up, he saw Fisher very well. A 370-foot home run over the left field fence.
It's been a bit of a surprise because in his first appearance, Fisher didn't give up any hits over an inning and 2/3, but walked 2. So this time it's kind of the opposite. His control's been fine other than that 4-pitch walk, yet he's given up hits.
Switches between those fastball pitches and curveball pitches quite a lot. The Scotlanders will make a trip out onto the mound here. It's been 6 straight balls for Colin Fisher, as now things start to get going in the Bourne bullpen a little bit more.
Looks like it's Nate Wysong, the right-hander out of Wake Forest, warming up.
Saw Wysong last time against Orleans. He pitched extremely well. Was the closer for Bourne-ish. Fisher, after the timeout, will step back out. Now he gets in there for a strike. Rather, that was Logan Beavis who closed the game for Bourne against Orleans a week ago. 2 balls, 1 strike, no outs. Still got that runner on first. Fisher gets one ripped out into center field. It'll hop once, now twice into the glove of John LeGrand. Of anybody so far, Alejandro Garza has been seeing Colin Fisher extremely well. 2 hard-hit balls to begin this game. His home run close to 100 miles per hour off the bat, and that one right there, 91.
Just 2 really solid hits. That's already 6 on the day, and now less than 4 innings for this Firebirds offense. One that, as we've talked about a lot today, is hitting under 200 on the season, but can't tell by watching this game.
Of those 6 hits, as Abri Covarrubia comes up to bat, 4 of them have been directly up the middle. So they're timing Fisher very well, too. Looping curveball is going to throw Covarrubia off balance, excuse me.
Part of that is that Fisher is a control and movement pitcher. He's not someone who's blowing you by with his fastball. So, you know, it's really 88 to 90 with the sinker and 4-seamer.
Well located pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Fisher only needs 3 pitches there, and now it's Javar Williams. Abri Covarrubias has struck out twice now.
Pitches like that is how Colin Fisher is going to be successful. Low and inside on the sinker, a pitch that's just so hard to hit. It's not his fastball that's going to blow you by. It's the movement and placement.
Fastball has quite a bit of vertical and horizontal movement, too. Swearing to bunt is Williams. He puts it down the first base line, just spins foul about halfway up the line.
It was a really good bunt. I like it. The deception, no one was expecting it, even with runners on first and second and one out. That's a very common spot to bunt, but Holcomb was playing back at third. The first baseman, Hughes, wasn't necessarily playing into bunt, but now he will.
Hughes about 2 feet in from the grass. Now he's stepping a little bit further back. And he'll be at his original post. The rest of the infield also straight up. Riker Wade playing close to second base. Here's the 0-1 from Fisher. Curveball just low. At the plate, Williams out of Wake Forest has been a solid player for Orleans this summer. A Demon Deacon, and there are 2 Demon Deacons on the other side, and Cade Lewis as the curveball settles into the top of the strike zone for strike 2. Williams and Cade Lewis were chatting before the game a little bit, messing with each other.
It's always one of the fun things. Yesterday we saw Cade Lewis with the second baseman for Falmouth, Antonio Morales, kind of almost punching each other after he had to go back to first on a foul ball.
Always good spirits, and you forget a lot of these guys are friends, even if they're rivals at school. They know each other, or if they're teammates. The 2-2 from Fisher with 1 out. He'd like this one. Curveball, swing and a miss, strike 2. That pitch has been disgusting today. Second strikeout in a row and 5th of the day for Fisher.
It just moves so much. It is really your classic curveball. It's something that you don't see as much anymore. A lot of guys have opted to go with sliders or other types of off-speed. We don't see that many low 70s curveballs, but it's still effective, especially now when guys aren't expecting it and they don't see it as often.
Jonathan Mendez out of UCSB, one of the many California guys and West Coast guys. Orleans has 5 California guys playing today, including Logan Redeman, the pitcher. Mendez, Covarrubias, Alejandro Garza, Michael Crossland, as well as Potestio. Fisher's going to get the strike 1 call there against Mendez, who's the 9th batter of the order. His first time up, he had a really solid ground ball up the middle, but was stranded on second. So Orleans team scored 2 runs in the first 2 innings. They're down by 1 against the Braves. 1-1. Curveball, slow ground ball. That one actually clipped the foot of Mendez. So we'll do it again.
Well, the question is whether or not Colin Fisher, if he can get out of this here, would even have a chance to throw another inning. This next pitch will be his 70th, so probably not, but still important that he can get out of this quick.
Pretty deep into this game. We see Wysong getting ready in the bullpen. The 1-2 comes home. Fastball called strike 3 on the inside edge. An amazing pitch. Switch it up with the heater. And again, Bourne shut out the Orleans Firebirds. We'll step aside for the middle of the 4th inning and be back in the bottom of the 4th when we return.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
If you need to dig, lift, move, grade, clear, or cut, pump, weld, clean, light, and just about anything else, Dial up the rental source for the newest and the most reliable equipment in New England. Staffed with equipment and construction experts. Milton Rents, your local source.
You can make any bat feel lighter by adding a velo puck knob. Instead of having to go get a whole entirely new bat, you can simply add the puck to it. Players can use this with any bat. It's basically going to shift the weight of the bat a little bit more towards the hands. Players are able to hit the ball a lot harder just by simply adding the puck on.
Beautiful sky here above Bourne Park. Nice day out for the Bourne Braves and the Orleans Firebirds to continue their match. We're in the bottom of the fourth here as the Braves lead 3-2 over the Firebirds. It's a new pitcher on the mound for Orleans. Truman Polly steps into the game. Smart guy comes out of Harvard with the Crimson. 5-pitch mix for him. Fastball, slider, curveball, changeup, and cutter. Native to California and on the season so far with Orleans. Has pitched 8 2/3 and 8.31 ERA. Alongside that, 5 walks and 8 strikeouts. First player he will see is John LeGrand. LeGrand, it seems, always dressed for colder weather than it is. He's got a hoodie on under his jersey and a sleeve on his left arm.
And, you know, the funny thing is he's one of the few Northeast baseball players that we see. It seems like so many guys in baseball are from California or the South, but
he's used to the cold weather.
Yeah, he's a New York City guy.
And we saw last game against Orleans, as it seems there is some difficulty with the pitch com at the moment. Paulie's going to try and figure that out. But last game against Orleans, 8 days ago now, that was the hottest game of the year, where Bourne decided to wear its batting practice jerseys, and LeGrand was wearing the T-shirt hoodie under it.
Some guys are just comfortable with, you know, a certain type of clothing, whether it's just the way that it fits or the way that it feels. It's just, you know, one of those baseball things. Certain guys like to do certain things. You know, you'd always hear the players wearing the exact same underwear every single game.
Yep.
It's you know, it's all that same kind of thing. Players just like to wear what they wear.
The socks. One of those outside to LeGrand. Paulie replaces Redeman, who ends his day with 3 innings pitched, 3 hits, 3 runs, only 2 of them earned with no walks and 2 strikeouts. Did have that technical home run, I think that's the way to call it now, from Cade Lewis. As the 2-0 is lifted high by John LeGrand, out of play to the left side. For those who missed it, Lewis hit a ball to left field that likely, and more than likely, dropped before the fence and should have been an automatic double, but was instead called 4 bases. Swinging a hard ground ball to the right side by LeGrand. He fights to make it a 2-2 count as the first batter here in the bottom of the 4th.
We have seen a replay and have heard from some people down the left field line that they think it bounced in front. It looks like it did, but you know the thing is you can't change it. There is no appeal afterwards where you can change it. It's how baseball was for the 150 years before the review. That's just how it is. That happened in Major League games forever. It still happens at the high school level, and you know it's just what you got to deal with.
John LeGrand up to bat. He's batting 6th today. For the first 10 games of the season, we didn't see him anywhere else than the first or the second spot, as the full count pitch is swung on and fouled back behind the concourse here. He's been playing in the middle of the lineup, and you're thinking maybe Scott Landers is balancing out this lineup a little bit. LeGrand, one of the better hitters for Bourne. Putting him later just spreads out your lethal bats.
I think another part of it is just trying to switch things around, too, and see if something sticks.
3-2. Popped up high. Left side. This one could stay in, but will land right on top of the snack shack and bounce back into play.
And Bourne's tried a whole lot of different things offensively recently. Really, as much as it can because there's not a lot of players on this team. It's as simple as that. There were 2 guys released the other day, so just 11 position players right now. So Scott Landers is doing as much as he can changing the order.
Payoff pitch, deep drive out to right field. It looks like Crossland's got this one as he makes the grab about 20 feet in front of the warning track. And LeGrand will go back in for out number 1.
You look on the other side and at the Orleans lineup, they've got a much larger team and 5 new players starting today who didn't start yesterday or didn't play at all yesterday. So, it's interesting here. 2 teams coming in cold, and one is basically bringing back the exact same starters. 8 of the 9 guys played yesterday, and the other team is more than half new.
Gavin Kelly squares to bunt on the first pitch, takes it back for ball 1. Kelly, another one of those bats who's been pretty solid. Got hit by pitch in his first time up, but he's batting .300 on the year. And there's just so much balance in this Bourne lineup. We'll take a breaking ball for strike 1.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot to like, and it's part of the reason why Cape League baseball is so interesting. It's such a small season. There's things that you like. It's a 5-game losing streak. In the sport of baseball, this is the major leagues. That's whatever. 5 games is nothing. You're playing 162, but out here on the Cape, that's an 1/8 of your season. And just like that, you're, oh my goodness, we just lost 5 in a row. But in terms of the real baseball and in terms of how it finishes the season, it's just a slump, and you can take the positives from it.
1-2, high swing and a miss on the fastball for out number 2, and Campbell Smithwick steps in. Despite the struggles from Bourne, it's not too far back in this division. They currently rank tied 4th in the West, are 9 points back from the Hyannis Harborhawks, who lead with 18 points. Yes, it is like hockey, 2 points for a win, 1 point for a tie. Guess also soccer across the pond.
Well, they go 3 for a win, 1 for a tie. And it's funny how things are a lot of the times on the Cape with right now the 5 teams in the East Division would all be in the playoffs in the West Division. It was like that last year with the West. All 5 of the teams would have been in the East. A lot of the times, one division can be a lot better than the other, and a lot of it doesn't make sense because the schedule is completely balanced. So you can have teams that are so much better in the East than the West, but that's it's just how it is. And if you're Bourne and you're in a weaker division, then you're a little bit luckier because you don't need to be over 500 like you might have to be in another division to make the playoffs.
Last year it was the West that was a far more competitive division than the East. Bourne had 45 points at the end of the season, finished 4th in the West. That would have been good for 2nd in the East.
And Harwich was 3rd in its division, and it would have missed the playoffs.
Hard ground ball right side, an easy play for Michael O'Shaughnessy for the 3rd out. And that means we'll take a short break here before the top of the 5th inning. Before that, hungry after the game, swing by the local tavern and grill. Bourne's go-to spot for great food, cold drinks, and a welcoming atmosphere. Whether you're craving burgers, seafood, or a refreshing cocktail, the local has something for everyone. Just minutes from the field, see you there after final pitch. Also, Pecasset Hardware, your hometown hardware store. Whether you're fixing up the house, tackling a weekend project, or just need expert advice, Pecasset Hardware has you covered with top-notch service and all the tools you need. Conveniently located in the heart of Pecasset, stop by and see why they're a Cape Cod favorite. Pecasset Hardware, where community and quality come together. We'll take a short break here after the bottom of the 4th inning and come back. Colin Fisher remains on the mound for the Bourne Braves going into his 5th inning of work.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be the official banking partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod 5 offers a broad range of financial products and services tailored for every stage in your financial journey. Reach out to us. We're here to help.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we know there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. Now that's how we all win. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
Get ready for big results with our small machines. With more power, performance, comfort, and savings. They're ready for every job. And we're ready with plenty of inventory, the best support in the business, same-day parts availability, and locations across the Northeast. So you can always be ready to work. Milton Cat, always ready.
Thanks for sticking with us here. It's the top of the 5th inning. We continue with Colin Fisher on the bump for Bourne. He's been working really well this game, especially these last 2 innings. First he'll see is Anthony Potestio. Rounds one hard to the right side, a flip back to Fisher. And one of the more efficient at-bats he's had on the day.
Now batting from Davidson, number 10, Michael O'Shaughnessy.
Closed out the bottom, or rather the top of the 4th with 3 consecutive strikeouts for his 6th in just 4 innings. He struck out, or he's put away half of his batters that way. Begins things with a nice at-bat against Potestio. It was Wysong getting going in the bullpen earlier. O'Shaughnessy now the new hitter up from the left side for the Orleans Firebirds. Very interesting to see Fisher this deep in the game. He's about to throw his 75th. That one will be high. One of the higher pitch counts of this season for any Bourne pitcher. O'Shaughnessy so far today, a not so great day for his standards. Grounded into a double play in the 1st and struck out looking in the 3rd. Three consecutive balls for Fisher here to begin the at-bat. He works easy and deals. Down Broadway for strike 1. Infield attached shifted to the right. Riker Waite, the shortstop, directly behind, as you can see, in the right side of your frame, almost on top of second base. And Braden Holcomb playing where a typical shortstop would. Outfield pretty straight up. Here's the 3-1. Oh, just a nasty curveball by Colin Fisher. He's been getting that to work all day. Retired quite a few batters so far with it. Now has a full count against O'Shaughnessy. Curveball, swing and a miss, strike 3. He uses it again to get his 7th strikeout on the evening. Just a disgusting pitch at him that's been fooling these Orleans batters.
And it's so impressive to see Fisher continue to look this strong as we're into the 5th inning. This is his first start of the summer, the first time that he's really had to go deep into a game in a while. And, I mean, he's just gotten better and better.
Now just about 80 pitches into this game. We saw Zane Petty go into the 6th inning for Bourne 9 days ago. Could be 10, and that was at Chatham where he pitched 5 2/3. But as far as pitch count goes, this could be the highest on the season that the Braves have put out from their starter. Elijah Iquez in there. Had a double back in the 1st inning and eventually scored. Another 3-0 count to begin this. It was the same count to O'Shaughnessy before he got struck out. Iquez out of Hawaii. Another West Coast guy. It'll be 4 consecutive balls before he takes his base at first.
Pretty incredible, that 2023 Hawaiian high school class. Just the 2 of Elijah Iquez and Kahio Aloy. I mean, that's got to be 2 of the best players out of Hawaii in a long time. Other than, of course,
yes.
Kahio. Vahiva.
Vahiva. I mean,
Vahio's older brother.
You combine
Young,
those two
yes.
classes, and it's just extraordinary as Fisher gets a visit from Scott Landers on the mound. That will be his day after the 4-pitch walk. Just an incredible outing from Fisher, especially after those first 2 innings. A standing ovation from the Bourne fans, and we will now see a new pitcher, and we'll tell you all about him when we come back after a short break here in the 5th inning. You're listening to the Bourne Braves Broadcasting Network on Cape League TV. Stay with us.
If you can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group, protecting the possible.
There hasn't been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed. You can improve your bat speed and reach your goals working 10 to 15 minutes a day on this a couple of times a week. That's a no-brainer for every player.
It's a new pitcher on the mound for the Bourne Braves, Nate Wysong, taking over duties from Colin Fisher. Fisher will end his day 4 2/3, 6 hits, 3 walks, 7 Ks. He's allowed 2 runs, both earned, but is still responsible for Elijah Iquez on first base after he gave the walk. Wysong steps in with a 4-pitch mix, fastball, slider, changeup, curveball, and has had 3 appearances on the season for Bourne Braves.
He's been this team's anchor out of the bullpen, a guy who can really do it all. He has gone 1 inning, 1, 2, 3, 4 innings, given up just 1 hit. He has been a consistent guy that Scott Landers has been able to rely on.
He's developing into one of those distance middle relievers that Bourne could use so much. Faces off against Robbie Levy for his first batter. Levy's going to sky one out into left field for out number 3 as Nick Groves makes the grab. So not a bad start for Mr. Wysong. He'll go back into the dugout and make way for his Bourne bats to do some damage. Appreciate you all listening today. We'll step aside for the middle of the 5th inning. You're listening to the Bourne Braves Broadcasting Network and Cape League TV.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
If you need to dig, lift, move, grade, clear, or cut, pump, weld, clean, light, and just about anything else, dial up the rental source for the newest and the most reliable equipment in New England. Staffed with equipment and construction experts, Milton Rents, your local source.
You can make any bat feel lighter by adding a velo puck knob. Instead of having to go get a whole entirely new bat, you can simply add the puck to it. Players can use this with any bat. It's basically going to shift the weight of the bat a little bit more towards the hands. Players are able to hit the ball a lot harder just by simply adding the puck on.
Now batting from Illinois, number 8, Nick Groves.
Nick Groves, the first up to bat for Bourne here in the bottom of the 5th. They've looked really good. They're trying to add on to their lead of 3-2 right now over Orleans. Pitcher is Pauly on the mound. It'll be the first time Groves faces him. Had a really good shot into right center field and eventually scored back in the 3rd to tie the ball game.
That was to lead off the 3rd.
Nice ball hit up the middle, straight over the second base pillow. And Groves finding a groove here, now in his 6th game.
That's all you want to see. Leads off the 3rd with a hit, now leads off the 5th with a hit. You know, it's that type of thing that can lead to another rally here. Last time it led to a pair of runs.
He really has come into his own, as we've mentioned a lot before. A really good player for Hyannis a summer ago. Back to the top of the order for Riker Waite. As Groves is going to head to second on the delayed steal. He will get in there in time. That's his first stolen bag on the season.
A bit surprised it took Groves so long to get his first. He, especially in the past, has been a very aggressive runner. Back in his time at Niagara, had 40 steals in 2 seasons. He's not afraid to run.
Illinois this most recent year had 15 stolen bags, only was caught 4 times. That was his first attempt on the season with the Braves.
And he had a 3 stolen base game this past year for the Fighting Illini against Abilene Christian.
Riker Waite, the switch hitter, is in the lefties batter's box against Pauly. Squares to bunt, brings it back on the high and outside pitch.
It's an interesting form at third base for Garza with this bunt. He is playing basically with his body facing towards first base diagonally. He's not standing in the grass, even though Waite is showing bunt. It's interesting for sure.
2-1 way outside. Now there's a meeting between Levy and Pauly.
This is a good meeting. You just want to calm the pitcher down because it's a tough start to the inning. A base hit, then you fall behind in the count, especially with the top of the order up here. This is a big moment to just try and relax and make sure that you don't give up a free pass.
Pauly not a huge control guy, or has issues with control. Decent numbers this year and at Harvard, as Riker Waite swings one and puts it in the outfield for a base hit. Groves is going to hop on his horse and make it home. Could be a play at the plate. Throw doesn't come as it's picked off. And Riker Waite puts the Bourne Braves up 4-2. Just a special player Riker Waite is on both sides of the ball. Had a home run yesterday and continues to surprise everyone in attendance with how consistent he's been for this team.
Coming into the season, Riker Waite was probably the biggest question mark on this roster. To be honest, I was a little bit surprised when he was still here opening day because it's so often for players to be put on the roster in March and then off by the time the season comes around. A lot of the times that happens with players like Riker Waite, who only played in 9 games their freshman year, 8 games their freshman year, and then they're thinking, we'll send him to the NECBL instead of the Cape. Tim Corbin believed in Riker Waite, said no, he may not have played much as a freshman, but he is the guy, and he's going to play on Cape Cod. And Riker Waite has proven that he deserves to be here without a doubt. I mean, he has consistently been one of this team's more productive hitters.
Someone who I'm sure knows all about how good Riker Waite is Braden Holcomb in the right-handed batter's box. Those two teammates down in Nashville.
There's no surprise to the Vandy boys of how good Waite has been up here. Just based on their reactions on social media, on Holcomb, they know he's a stud. He's played like this in the fall.
Those two very good friends. Holcomb's going to swear to bunt and bring it back. It may have been 8 games for Riker Waite, but only 6 total plate appearances. So he came in as a pinch runner and pinch hitter, but in his time, he didn't get a lot of experience in the batter's box. He's had 45 plate appearances this season going into this game, which is quite a bit more than he did at Vanderbilt. I think this is also probably an eye-opening experience for Tim Corbin, who can see how good Riker Wade is when he's given that opportunity to get a starting position. 1-1 on its way home to Holcomb. Bunt again. This one highly chopped down the first base line, and Holcomb has those wheels. At 6'5", 240, he is a track runner and doesn't even get the throw.
He did it last week, bunt for a base hit, and he said that was the first time that he had done it. Now he does it again. I mean, Braden Holcomb just has special speed. He is the definition of an athlete. There is really just so much to like about him as a player, and the fact that he always gives it his all. He always runs out to first base, and you know, whether it's a bunt like that where you have to sprint or not, he's always going to run, and he always shows off his speed.
In fact, it was against Orleans that he had the bunt base hit 8 days ago. Cade Lewis, the Demon Deacon, in the left-handed batter's box, is going to try and add on to his total of 9 RBIs on the season. 11, rather.
Already has 2 today.
Went into this game with 9 and had that technical home run and a ground out to first base. Each of those 1 RBI. Pauly facing this part of the order for the first time. It's a 1-1 count. Curveball's high. Pauly started with John LeGrand, who bats 6th, so it's the 7th batter of the day for Pauly. Went 1-2-3 in his first inning. But here in the bottom of the 5th has seen a little bit more difficult action. Swinging a foul ball up and behind the netting by Cade Lewis. Lewis, one of the most consistent bats all season long, has a hit in all but 1 game this season. He seems to rack up RBIs like it's nothing. Has a chance to get one here. 2-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. And Lewis goes down for out number 1. Kahio Aloy, the new batter. First team All-SEC as a designated hitter out of Arkansas. Transfer from BYU. Not too bad to come from those 2 places. One, you're in one of the best baseball schools in the country. The other, one of the best baseball parks in the country.
The mountains just absolutely beautiful up in Provo, Utah. I asked Kahio about it earlier today. What was a bigger adjustment going from Hawaii to Utah or Hawaii to Arkansas?
Double steal, and the lead runner in Riker Waite slides into third safely. Waite going to get his 5th stolen bag on the year. He's attempted a lot more as of recently and has shown how dangerous he can be. Back in his time in the South Florida League, had 54 stolen bases on 57 attempts last summer.
He's just so good, and you know, they got that double steal because Aloy was putting bunt down, the infield moved in. But again, I was talking to him about the transition. He said Utah was so much harder just because of how cold it was, and playing baseball in the cold and in the snow. They actually have a heated turf field at BYU, but even then, it's just cold out there.
I'm getting one of those next season.
Here's the 1-1 from Pauly. Hefty swing and a miss from Kahio Aloy. Chased the outside pitch, and he's got 2 runners on. Looking to get another RBI as he did back in the 3rd. Does have the opportunity to bring a runner home with a sacrifice fly. It's a 1-2 count. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And Aloy goes chasing on the breaking ball.
I was just going to say at the start of this inning that I think the thing I was most impressed about with the Bourne offense was how it wasn't striking out in this game, because that had been the issue coming into it. They led the league in strikeouts, and they were putting the ball in play, but now it's back-to-back Ks with 2 runners on. That's got to be the focus here, just making sure that you put balls in play and give this team a chance, because when you strike out, nothing good can happen. We've already seen an error in this one. Just putting the ball in play can change everything.
But despite the strikeouts we've seen in these past couple, you're right. Bourne has put up an effort every inning that has a chance to score a runner. all except for the fourth. And it's led them to leading this game 4-2. Swing and a miss on the 0-1 by Hughes will make the count, no balls and 2 strikes. How often have we seen that from the Braves, where every single inning it feels like they have a chance to put some runs up?
Not often. They always seem to have a lull at some point in the game.
The 0-2. Hammered left side. It will be a late swing by Hughes as he pushes it foul.
Also seems like Truman Pauly has kind of locked things down, though, in these past couple at-bats. He's really figured out his control. He's placing pitches a lot better, so he deserves some props for also just improving.
0-2. They'll offer to third for Mike Rabideau to make the call. He does say no on the half swing by Hughes, and it's a 1-2 count. Here's the pitch. Swinging a chopped ball to the right side. It will go straight into the Orleans dugout on the first base side. And Hughes fighting here. 0 for 2 so far today, but he's been so dangerous for this team. 5 RBIs on the year, 2 home runs. Had one against this Orleans team last time. 1-2, swinging a foul ball back into the mask of Robbie Levy. Hughes also batting .311 on the season. He's just done it all for Bourne, while also limiting the strikeouts. 12 walks to just 7 strikeouts on the year. A blueprint for success, undoubtedly. The 1-2 pitch from Pauly. Hammered right side, doesn't get through. Good stop by Covarrubias for out number 3. And Bourne get one here in the 5th inning to make it a 4-2 ball game. Before we go, Keystone Place at Buzzards Bay is Bourne's premier senior living community. Conveniently located adjacent to the Cape Cod Canal, visit us at Keystone Place at buzzardsbay.com. Marty Chevrolet, your dealer for the people, proudly supports the Bourne Braves baseball team. See all our cars and trucks at martychevrolet.com, and go Braves. We'll step aside here for the end of the 5th inning and be back for the top of the 6th. You're listening to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network on Cape League TV. Stay with us.
Cafe 2 completing the game. Team of tonight's game. The Cape Cod Baseball League in part.
If you can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group, protecting the possible.
There hasn't been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed. You can improve your bat speed and reach your goals working 10 to 15 minutes a day on this a couple of times a week. That's a no-brainer for every player.
The return here for the top of the 6th inning. Orleans is down by 2 against Bourne. This Bourne team has just surprised offensively today on a 5-game losing streak at the moment and are consistently throwing their bats up, but Orleans going to have to make a response. Wysong on the mound in the batter's box is Robbie Levy, or instead Michael Crossland. Crossland so far today, a ground out to third base and a walk. This is his first time seeing Wysong as the Bourne pitcher's in his 2nd inning of work in a 1-1 count. Just 4 batters in the 1st inning. Headed things with a fly out to left field, and Crossland out of UCSD has had a solid season for this Orleans team. They've struggled overall offensively, but he's brought them 5 RBIs on just a 154 batting average. Wysong, who's shown distance in relief appearances before, has a 1-2 count with no outs. Fastball swing and a miss behind the heater. Out number 1 as Crossland goes back, and the strikeouts keep on piling on.
Bourne bullpen has really taken a step up over the last couple of days. Yesterday they were really terrific, even though they lost. They only gave up 2 runs, having to work a lot of innings. And, you know, it's just gotten better and better as the time has gone on. That was really this team's biggest flaw at the start of the season, but right now it's looking really good.
It'll be a challenge here for Wysong, though. His toughest challenge of the day against Alejandro Garza. Easily the best bat they've showed in this outing. A home run and a base hit. High chopped grounder left side. That's a tough ball for Riker Waite. That just takes an awkward hop, and that just might be Riker Waite's first error on the season, depending on the way they call that, as Garza is on first.
It's like a very weird, a very high hop at the last second. Waite had a similar one yesterday that hopped way over his head, and he's just been a bit unlucky. Still no official score, no hit or error has popped up on the scoreboard.
We'll see how they call that one, and it will be a single. Riker Waite remains errorless on the season so far. And now it's Abri Covarrubias, who's struck out twice today. 2 of the 8 that Orleans have had so far. Covarrubias in a 1-1 count has the runner on first in Garza. Movement from Garza, but a rocket up the middle. This could be 2. Toss to Waite. He gets the second and third out. Excellent way to get out of the jam. A perfect spot for Gavin Kelly to be in for out number 2 and 3. Efficient innings for Nate Wysong as we step aside in the middle of the 6th inning of play. You're listening to the Bourne Braves Broadcasting Network on Cape League TV. We'll see you in a few.
Get ready for big results with our small machines. With more power, performance, comfort, and savings. They're ready for every job. And we're ready with plenty of inventory, the best support in the business, same-day parts availability, and locations across the Northeast. So you can always be ready to work. Milton Cat, always ready.
There hasn't been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed. You can improve your bat speed and reach your goals working 10 to 15 minutes a day on this a couple of times a week. That's a no-brainer for every player.
Welcome you back here. Bottom of the 6th, and the Bourne Bats have been as consistent as they've ever been. Have 4 runs right now and lead the Orleans Firebirds by 2. On the bump, it will remain Pauly. Now into his 3rd inning of work. He's allowed 3 hits and 1 run. First batter for the Braves. We begin with John LeGrand after Logan Hughes ended the inning.
Now batting from St. John's, number 1, John LeGrand.
rather a new pitcher on the mound in Cole Treba. He'll be replacing Pauly and work against this middle of the order. Ball to the left side of the infield. There's nobody there to field it. And LeGrand hits into the opposite side of the shift. And gets on first.
Well, that's the issue with the shift. That's what Kelly Nicholson's known for, but every once in a while it goes the other way, and it can come back to bite you.
Treba out of UC Santa Barbara. Another one of those California guys. There's quite a few out of those UC schools. Works with a 4-pitch mix. Fastball, changeup, slider, splitter. Those fastball and splitter pitches both in low 90s. Rest are in the high 70s.
He's just been so solid this season. Hasn't given up an earned run yet in 3 outings and 4 2/3. Tells you that Kelly Nicholson really cares about this game.
What a swing by Gavin Kelly into the outfield. LeGrand's going to make the run to third. Hesitated for a moment, and he'll get away with it. How about the day from Gavin Kelly in these games recently? Knocks one into the outfield and puts runners on the corners.
John LeGrand had to slow down for a second there at second base because there was a small chance it could have been caught in the outfield, and it's definitely worth the risk to slow down than potentially get into the double play. And with his speed, he just so easily got into third base.
Treba on the hill at a UC Santa Barbara put up a 4.94 ERA in his most recent season. He's been solid for the Braves, or rather the Firebirds, with no earned runs on the year in just 4 2/3. Campbell Smithwick, the new batter. He looks to his signal sheet as Scott Landers relays a message. Squares to bunt, brings it back. You can probably imagine that's what he was calling for, a little squeeze play with runners on first and third. With no outs, you can even tell that Bourne's just trying to add a run each inning. With Campbell Smithwick looking to bunt, doesn't matter. They might not want 3 or 4 with one swing. Just get one, and they're satisfied with that. Here's the 2-0. Smithwick's going to watch it by Main Street. Runner on third is John LeGrand. On first is Gavin Kelly. So much speed in this Bourne lineup. Riker Waite, Braden Holcomb, John LeGrand, Gavin Kelly. The 4 fastest guys. And we've seen them on base in these last 2 innings.
That's just a staple with Scott Landers' teams. He likes to have it every single year. It's been a bit of surprise that this year they're 7th in the league in stolen bases. Last season, Bourne led the league in stolen bases, and it really wasn't close.
Pitch comes home and misses. There's been a lot less attempted steals recently for Bourne compared to the start of the season. We saw Braden Holcomb reach 5 steals really, really early. There's overall as a team not as many. Here's Treba, the 3-1. Runner's going to go to second. It's going to be a hit and run to the right side of the infield. And Smithwick will be out at first as O'Shaughnessy keeps it himself. But an RBI as Smithwick does his job. Advances Gavin Kelly to second and LeGrand to home. Bourne lead 5-2.
That's right, Smithwick just doing his job. That's all you got to do. Put the ball in play, bring the runner home, advance a man into scoring position, and now you put your team up by 3. You don't need to get the big hit. You don't need to, get a double. Just put the ball in play. It brings home a run, and that's where Bourne really struggled earlier in this season, and earlier in the losing streak that they're on right now is not taking advantage of moments like that.
Another dribbler down the first base line. This one will be fouled by Nick Groves. of the game so far. 5 RBIs from Bourne, but from 4 different players. So it's been pretty balanced, which is also something you'd like to see. Almost half of the lineup with a run batted in.
And in terms of the guys that have come in to score, it's the number 1, 3, 6, and 9 hitters. So, everywhere in the lineup has been productive.
Nick Groves has scored twice. Once in the 3rd and just an inning ago in the 5th. And it looks like it will be a balk on the pitch. That will send Gavin Kelly now to 3rd base.
Yeah, there's only one player in the Bourne lineup who hasn't reached base yet today or hasn't done something productive, because Campbell Smithwick hasn't reached, but he just got the RBI, and that's Logan Hughes, who is Bourne's best hitter on the season coming into this game, so can't really complain about him much.
The 0-1 squaring to bunt is Groves. Yeah, if Logan Hughes is your least productive hitter on the day, it means something is either going really right or really wrong. In this case, it's more leaning to the right side. No balls, 2 strikes for Nick Groves, the 9-hitter. He's not playing like a 9-hitter right now, 2 base hits. Will chase on the curveball for out number 2. And Groves goes down for the first time today.
Now batting number 3, Riker Waite.
Back to the top of the lineup for Riker Waite. One swing can bring in another run. Waite already has 1 RBI on the day. That was where he scored Nick Groves an inning ago. This one could get through, and now he has 2 RBIs. Kelly comes home, and Bourne leads 6-2 on the Riker Waite single.
That's just flat-out excellent from Riker Waite. It's a fastball outside, middle high, and he just sends it right back where it came from. Right-handed hitter goes the other way on an outside fastball. That is textbook stuff. Perfect from Riker Waite.
That was Riker Waite's first time hitting as a righty in this game. He is a little bit better for average from the left side, has more power from the right side. Hit that home run from the right side yesterday. He's going to try and steal second. Tag not applied by Elijah Iquez, even though, or rather, Avery Covarrubias, even though it was likely in time. So now Holcomb has a runner in scoring position.
Waite now has 6 stolen bags on the season.
He's got multiple today. Stole 3rd in the 5th. There's a real chance his stolen bag journey might not end at second base in this inning. The shift is on the righty batter in Braden Holcomb. Holcomb today 1 for 3 with a base hit bunt. 2 outs, fake steal, and a foul tip back into the glove of Robbie Levy.
I'm not sure why, but it says 0-1 on the scoreboard, and the umpire, it looks like, said the count was 0-0 before that pitch, even though Riker Waite had to have stolen second on a pitch.
0-1, big swing and a miss. Now it's 0-2, as you were talking, Adam. First pitch was a ball, so it seems as the count should be 1-2.
But the umpire put up 0-0 right after that pitch.
It was a called balk.
There you go.
Runner will go. It was a hit and run. A swing and a high fly ball foul and out of play over the Orleans dugout. So no pitch there. Credit to our producer, Gabriella Voccio.
I wish that was much more easily relayed up to us. The official score didn't have it right away either.
They still call it a steal for Riker Waite. We'll see if they change that. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Holcomb on the right side against and he'll stay in it.
Tribe has got to be careful because that balk was his second of the inning. So he can't be doing whatever he was that got that call.
Gavin Kelly advanced to third on the ball before scoring. Riker Waite here has shown a little bit of movement at second base. It's been a 0-2 count for a little bit here. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss on the breaking ball for strike number 3 and out number 3. Bourne put up 2 in the bottom of the 6th inning. And we'll keep it here for a few moments as the third member of our team in Ariel Tamir-Pinsky has more. This Bourne team's been really solid all throughout the game. 4 innings of scoring. Now we'll send it down to Ariel Tamir-Pinsky for more.
Thanks, guys. While as these players are on the Cape, first and foremost, to be playing baseball, they're still soaking up everything the Cape has to offer this summer. I talked with a few Bourne players before, and they told me they're trying to make the most of their off days. John LeGrand and Riker Waite went fishing together. Riker loves to go golfing with Braden Holcomb. Some of the guys went up to the Red Sox game. There's no shortage of activities for them to connect over, and I think that chemistry is definitely starting to show on the field.
Thank you very much, Ariel. We'll step aside as we come back in the top of the 7th inning. It's Wysong who remains on the mound for the Braves, and Orleans going to try and dent this 4-run lead Bourne has. You're listening to the Bourne Braves Broadcasting Network on Cape League TV. Stick around. We'll be back in a few.
You can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group, protecting the possible.
Get ready for big results with our small machines. With more power, performance, comfort, and savings, they're ready for every job. And we're ready with plenty of inventory, the best support in the business. Same-day parts.
It's Wysong who continues his relief effort on the mound. Bourne very efficient with their pitchers. It's the 3rd inning Wysong plays him, but he's only pitched 1 1/3 so far. First batter he works against will be Javar Williams, and he'll hit him on the first pitch.
Yeah, fastball at 93 right off the bat. That stings.
Wysong's been really good in these few innings. Started his day in the 5th. First batter flew out to left field, and then it was a 3-batter inning in the 6th after the inning-ending double play by Avery Covarrubias to end it. So Williams on first after the hit batter. It's now Jonathan Mendez. Got on with a single to center field against Colin Fisher. Other than that, struck out. Williams 3 stolen bags on the season. Could easily get something going in the base path. Mendez here, 3 RBIs on the year. Runner's going to go. It was a hit and run as the ball is fouled by Mendez back into the screen. Sun is now behind the horizon here at Dorn Park, which has left a really beautiful dusk sky. An orange haze behind the blue sky is making this night, like most, quite pretty. 0-2 way high.
It's nice to finally have a clearer night. We've had a little bit of fog recently, especially on the off night back on Monday. It was real bad, especially at this point right near the bridge. It was some of the thicker fog that I've ever seen in this area, and it was really weird. I was driving down the Cape. I started off, was out around Brewster, and the fog was really bad. I was out on a beach, and you couldn't even see houses that were beach houses.
Wow.
It was that bad. And then I was driving back, get to around the Sandwich Mashpee area, which if you're not familiar with the geography of the Cape is right near the start. It's the second and third towns right after Bourne. Completely clear skies. So it went super foggy, clear skies, and then right when you got back to the Bourne Bridge, insanely foggy again.
Popped out to Hughes in foul territory off first base. But at the same time, we've been extremely spoiled with the weather this summer. So one cloudy, foggy day is the worst of the year, but we haven't had a single game postponed due to weather. Some games cut short, but none of Bourne's.
Yeah, I'd so much rather have fog at night than
and on off days.
A rain out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, the players sometimes disagree with that. There was a YD Red Sox. I don't remember exactly who.
Okay.
But they had posted this on either the team's social media or the league's social media earlier this week of one of the YD Red Sox proposing a new rule in which if there is a off day or a game day where it's beautiful weather, they just say, you know what, no games, the players can go to the beach. Because the players were saying, hey, you know, we're out here on Cape Cod, and as Ariel just talked about, they sometimes like to, you know, enjoy the Cape in their off days. They haven't really been able to because of the rain, which is a little bit frustrating for them.
I mean, for us, too, we like to enjoy our off days. A week ago Thursday, it was pretty cloudy and rainy. We spent it all day inside. So we've had a couple of those as the 1-1 is fouled back in the screen. Anthony Potestio.
Here's the thing, though. It's people say, you know, they wish they had a rain out maybe every once in a while so that, you know, there aren't games every day. Because that's the one thing about the Cape, too, that's really tough is, you know, if you're playing 6 days in a row, these players aren't used to that. So they say, you know, maybe it'd be nice to have a rain out every once in a while to, you know, kind of break it up. The issue there is then they stack up towards the end of the season and you lose off days. So that's one of the nice things is we have a good amount of off days in the second part of the season left because we haven't had any of them taken away yet. The last season there was a stretch where we just got off day after off day taken away because of the rain.
Did he go? Yes, sir. Potestio down with a strikeout for out number 2.
Now batting Davidson, number 10, Michael O'Shaughnessy.
Now it's O'Shaughnessy who steps in.
You're so welcome. I told you I'd get better than you at some point.
First one in the dirt, throw over to second is just late. Probably had it in time. The tag transfer allowed Williams to get in there safely. That's his 4th stolen bag on the season. And he's played in all but 2 games so far. So 1-0 count now to O'Shaughnessy. Not a great day for him. 2 strikeouts, and he grounded out into a double play.
Here's the time to turn it around. This is a Firebirds offense that's really struggled to close out games. They need to get at least one here to make it easier in the last 2 innings.
Ground ball right side will be foul. O'Shaughnessy, dangerous batter coming into the game, 255. Actually just committed to be a Bulldog down in Athens, Georgia for the next season. Spent a year at Davidson. Should be a great new addition for them as he was in the transfer portal and just committed a few weeks ago. A lot of Georgia Bulldog representation here on the Cape.
I just said how Orleans has really struggled to close out games. To give an actual number, they're hitting 128 in the 7th inning or later this season with just 2 extra base hits and 15 runs in 14 games. in the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings.
Here's the 1-2 from Wysong. Just upstairs for ball number 2.
And if you go even a step further and you take a look at just the 8th and 9th innings, 5 runs in 14 games for the Firebirds. So they just have not been able to close out at all.
This Bourne team hasn't really struggled at maintaining leads. They've struggled at getting leads early. Had a 3-game win streak back toward the start of the season, and during that stretch only trailed for 1/2 of an inning. So that's not been the problem for them. As Wysong gets worked into a full count by O'Shaughnessy.
Now, the big thing is the starting pitching, and today Colin Fisher was just excellent. 4 2/3, he gave length, he did exactly what Bourne needed.
Throw in at second is safe.
And also the offense scoring 3 runs in the first 3 innings is the other part of that. I mean,
I'd argue it's the
big deal.
bigger piece, Adam.
I personally would go more 50-50. I think that it's so hard for the offense when you already go down big, which has been the case a lot.
Where did that miss off? Come on.
Wait a little bit inside on the 3-2, which will send O'Shaughnessy to first. And Elijah Iquez into the right-handed batter's box.
Come on, Nate.
Now a righty batter for the righty in Wysong. He hasn't seen one since Mendez 3 batters ago.
Jonathan Stevens, the right-hander, committed to the UAB, getting loose in the Braves bullpen right now. He's been Bourne's most elite bullpen arm this summer. Hasn't given up a run yet.
I'm sure they would like to see Wysong through this 7th inning and leave Stevens for the 8th and the 9th to close. Stevens was a starter for Bourne a season ago, but has kept that reliever role this year. Shot up the middle of the infield over the head of Kelly. That's going to score a run. LeGrand can't field it. Now on his way to third is O'Shaughnessy. And what a sequence from Iquez.
Now batting from George Washington, number 33, Robbie.
Just a well-placed ball there from Iquez into the gap in right center field. And now if you're Wysong, you got a limit. You gave up 1 run. That's fine. That's not the end of the world. Your team's still up by 3. Now you keep it there.
See how they call that potentially an error on John LeGrand in center field. Still 2 outs. Yeah. Swing and a miss on the first pitch by the new batter and Robbie Levy out of George Washington.
Oh my God.
It will be a fielding error on John LeGrand that advance Iquez to second and O'Shaughnessy to third.
First error on the season for LeGrand, and already the 20th on the season for this Bourne defense. Or actually, sorry, the 19th on the season for this Bourne defense.
1-1. Swinging a lift-hit ball to the left side. This one will land out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bourne still maintain the 6-3 lead. They're sitting pretty comfortable here with help from their offense. And a trend that has been consistent throughout the season so far is in all of Bourne's wins, the opponent has not scored more than 1 run in any of their innings. That's been true today. The 1-2, curveball, straight foul into the netting third base side.
One more.
Wysong looking to get out of this jam. Dealing with runners on 2 and 3. Stevens hot in the bullpen.
Find a way to strike out right here.
But
Let's
Scott
go.
Landers wants nothing more than Wysong to finish the 7th. Here's the 1-2. Fastball, good swing, foul ball down the right field line. Levy battling. He's reached once on a base hit up the middle against Colin Fisher in the first inning. Since then, He struck out and was the first batter that Wysong saw back in the 5th inning where he flew out to left field.
Wysong's gone off-speed fastball, off-speed fastball. Does he mix it up here or go back to the off-speed?
It's a fastball, slow grounder up the middle, fielded by Kelly, and he gets the out at first. The Firebirds only get 1 in the 7th inning, and you know what that means. We're heading into the middle of the 7th, so get up and stretch as we'll step aside for a few minutes here and come back for the bottom of the 7th inning for the Bourne Bats to extend their lead.
T-shirt toss tonight. All shirts will be in new sizes. You can gather by.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
If you need to dig, lift, move, grade, clear, or cut, pump, weld, clean, light, and just about anything else, dial up the rental source for the newest and the most reliable equipment in New England. Staffed with equipment and construction experts, Milton Rents, your local source.
You can make any bat feel lighter by adding a velo puck knob. Instead of having to go get a whole entirely new bat, you can simply add the puck to it. Players can use this with any bat. It's basically going to shift the weight of the bat a little bit more towards the hands. Players are able to hit the ball a lot harder just by simply adding the puck on.
Just a beautiful evening here at Doran Park. Orange and blue skies, as you can see it. Convenient, as the Knicks just hired a coach today. Mike Brown, their new skipper for the 2025-2026 season. Back to baseball, it's Cade Lewis in the batter's box. He'll go against Triba for Triba's second inning of work, adjusting the pitch com system and getting back set.
It's so interesting how there's different variations of the pitch com. Orleans uses the speaker and the helmet. Bourne uses the wristbands. And within that, there's also different ways. Some of the earpieces, it's the catcher inputting buttons. Some it's the dugout inputting buttons. And within that, it'll just be a robotic voice saying, like, fastball, fastball, whatever. It'll just literally be a robotic voice saying it. And then there's other teams, like the YD Red Sox and Coach Scott Pickler, who has an actual microphone that he can just speak to the pitcher. And so you'll see him hold the microphone up to his mouth and say it. Like, it's so fascinating how ever since all these pitch-com devices have become a thing following the Astros cheating scandal in 2019, that there's still not a consensus system. Everyone kind of has their own thing.
Scott Landers at Oswego State, where he coaches during the collegiate year, uses the speaker system. Coach Anthony Barone, who's with the Bourne Braves this summer as an assistant coach, is the catcher for Oswego State, and was telling us about some stories he's had with Scott Landers, speaking into his ear. It's not the way they do it in Bourne, however, as the 2-2 to Lewis is swung on and popped up in shallow left field. Iquez is going to make the grab.
Now batting Arkansas, number 25, Cahio Aloy.
Rather, Garza instead had the shift on. Cahio Aloy, the new batter for the Braves. 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts, but an RBI grounder into right field has made it objectively a success. Still settling into that wood bat, now playing in his 4th game of the year.
Ever since the first day he showed up, you kind of realized that it wouldn't take too long for Aloy to get accustomed to the wood bat because he was just hitting bombs on his first day.
In batting practice at Katuitt, which was last Saturday, Kahio Aloy hit 4 or 5 home runs just in batting practice. He arrived to Bourne and Boston at 1:30 that morning. So clearly there was no necessary warm-up time. He was good to go from the first pitch he saw. And those 4 or 5 home runs was probably just about as much as Bourne had as a team collectively in batting practice throughout the first week when they all got here.
Now, the thing with Aloy is he has such a violent swing that if he makes contact, there's no adjusting. It's going to go far because he just puts so much into it. There's so much bat speed. I think that's the difference between him and a lot of these guys is with his swing, he just needs to put bat to ball, and no matter where it is, what kind of bat, the material, it's going to go far.
At the end of the day, it's a bat and a ball. And Aloy is one of the best in the nation at swinging the bat.
I mean, he hit 117 with the metal bat. That's almost dangerous.
3-2, he'll draw the walk. He's got some patience-y to his skill set, and will step on first with 1 out as Logan Hughes, the other big swinger on this Bourne Brave roster, steps into the left side.
Only Bravo yet to have a real productive at-bat yet. Everyone except for him and Campbell Smithwick has reached base, but Smithwick does have an RBI. So let's see if Hughes can join the party today. It's been an offensive explosion for the Braves, 9 hits. You know, yesterday the offense looked really good. Picked up 5 runs in the game. Just it was too little too late because the pitching staff faltered early. So these bats have consistently come alive over these past few games. And it's a similar thing to what happened when Bourne first got shut out this season, because 2 games ago they got shut out. Bourne came back and won 3 in a row. Bourne got shut out 2 games ago, and now the offense 2 games in a row has looked good.
0-2. High fly ball, center field. Calling off everyone is Williams. He makes the catch for out number 2. John LeGrand, the lefty.
Oh, they call a balk. That's
wow.
the 3rd balk against Triba today. A bit of a late call, too. So Lloyd gets second. Man.
So the delayed balk call.
Oh, he called it a balk?
As fans are finding out just as we are right now.
Oh, they called a balk.
And Logan Hughes gets a second chance here.
Yeah, must have been.
Can't take it for granted.
Yeah, you really can't. You got to make the most of this opportunity. At least just put a ball in play and try and move the runner to third if you can. You just don't want to strike out here.
Hughes know he got away with one. Now on the 0-2, he has another life. Swings it, fouls it straight back into the netting. And he's fighting off Triba here. Triba 3 balks on the day.
Come on, Logan.
One of them advancing a runner to third, the other 2 advancing runners to second. The 0-2, breaking ball, swing and a miss for strike 3. Great pitch by Triba
Come on, John.
to bring himself back in the at-bat. Now it's John LeGrand to step in for Bourne.
Come on, John.
Get a really productive at-bat his last time up. A leadoff single the other way against the shift.
Was one of 2 to score in the 6th inning. The shift is not on him this time. Orleans has paid for putting the shift on this game. It has limited them not only to field balls they should have, but also turn 2. It'll be a meeting between Robbie Levy and Schreiber. They'll talk for a moment against the batter LeGrand here. Kahio Aloy on second base is unguarded. He walks about a quarter the way to third base for his lead. First pitch. Fastball will miss. Schreiber now into the mid-30s for his pitches. He's thrown 22 strikes, but has allowed those 2 runs. LeGrand's going to watch the next one by. Graham was also the first batter that Schreiber saw back in the 6th to lead that inning off.
Go, John. Come on, John. Here we go.
The 1-1. Curveball up the middle. Grounded. And Covarrubias can't make the play. He bobbles it on the transfer. And the E4 will send John LeGrand to first base.
Oh, fan down there's having some fun next to our microphone. That's the second error against Covarrubias in this game. He's just struggling out there.
Had an error back in the 3rd inning that led to 2 runs scoring. Without that error, neither of the runs would have scored in the 3rd. Now it could be another run-causing mistake. The hot bat of Gavin Kelly steps in. Also had a hit against Schreiber. Takes a first pitch ball. Runners on the corners. LeGrand on first, a speedy player. Let's see if he tries to steal here with 2 outs. Maybe not. Pitch to Kelly. Takes it high and inside for ball number 2. Bourne trying to pile on. They're 2-0. Is in there for strike 1. Top of the zone. Still action in the Bourne bullpen.
It's still Jonathan Stephens, so it appears as if he'll come in to get the 2-inning save for the Braves.
Swing and a miss by Kelly. He got twisted up on the pitch inside for strike number 2. Now 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. In bottom 7. Bourne lead by 3. They haven't scored in only 2 innings. I'm going to keep that trend going with a runner on third. The 2-2, half swing by Kelly. It's foul tipped back into the glove of Levy for strike number 3 and out number 3. So Bourne leads 6-3. As we'll soon send it into a break before the top of the 8th inning. Before we go, are you ready to dominate the diamond and pitch like a pro with a Cape Zone Keith Bill Doe? Join us at the Capeplex, where champions are made. Don't just play the game, own it. Visit the Capeplex today and unleash your full potential. Located at 6 Forest Park Drive in Bourne, find us on Facebook or at thek-plex.com. Elevate your game at the Capeplex. Gentlemen, tired of unisex salons that smell like chemicals and never quite get your cut right? Rediscover the timeless barbershop experience. Barber pulls, sports on TV, great conversations, and a cut that actually suits you. At the Pecasset Barbershop, Kevin brings back the tradition with expert cuts and straight razor shaves in a space designated for men to relax, recharge, and feel at home. Visit Pecasset Hardware at 3369 Barlow's Landing Road, Pecasset. Your next great haircut is waiting. Hungry after the game? Swing by the local Tavern and Grill, Bourne's go-to spot for great food, cold drinks, and a welcoming atmosphere. Whether you're craving burgers, seafood, or a refreshing cocktail, the local has something for everyone. Just minutes from the field. See you there after final pitch. We'll step aside for about a minute. Jonathan Stevens takes the mound for Bourne, looking to close the game.
You can dream it. If you can cruise in it. If you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group. Protecting the possible.
Get ready for big results with our small machines. With more power, performance, comfort, and savings. They're ready for every job. And we're ready with plenty of inventory, the best support in the business, same-day parts availability, and locations across the Northeast. So you can always be ready to work. Milton Cat, always ready.
Into the 8th inning, Bourne leads 6-3, and a new pitcher out onto the mound for the Braves. It's the right-hander out of the University of Alabama, Birmingham, Jonathan Stevens. And Devon, he has been, you can make a strong argument, Bourne's best pitcher this summer.
Yeah, no, he has. He's been extremely solid in his time with Bourne in 4 games, has not allowed a single earned run, has not allowed a single run at all. And his last time up, he pitched in the Harwich game just a few games ago, where he had a 1-inning pitch for 2 Ks and went 1-2-3. Times before that, 2 innings pitched, just completely shut out Falmouth. He's been extremely solid, allowing only a total of 3 hits in his 4 appearances. So if he can continue to do what he's done already for the Bourne Braves, this is a locked-up win for Bourne.
3 hits, no walks, 3 hits, 1 walk, no runs, and 10 strikeouts for Jonathan Stevens in 7 innings so far this summer. They'll face off against the middle of this Orleans lineup. Michael Crossland leads things off. First pitch fastball, a ball, and the count 1-0. Stevens, a fastball, curveball, slider, splitter mix. He has just introduced that splitter into his arsenal recently, and it has proven to be a disgusting pitch.
Just committed to University of Alabama, Birmingham, and that pitch is going to make him one of the more dangerous weekend guys they have. Was a pitcher for Alabama for 2 years and surprisingly got no time at all.
The final line for the prior pitcher for Bourne, Nate Wysong. In 2 1/3, he gave up just 2 hits. Gave up 1 run. It was earned. He walked 1 and struck out 2. A really solid performance for the righty out of Wake Forest. And Jonathan Stevens hoping to get the save. Here's the 2-1. Bouncer foul down the third base line. Mentioned this before, but Orleans has scored just 5 runs this season in 14 games in the last 2 innings. They need to rally here. Kicking the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Smithwick held on to it. Well, it doesn't matter if he did. It looked like the home plate umpire said he did. And anyways, it's a awkward 2-5-3 drop third strike.
Yeah, well, depending if they called it a drop third strike, we'll see.
The umpire at first called out, but the home plate umpire said he held on to it, but he's still out at first. Doesn't either way, it's an out.
I think my favorite part about that, it was like a Steph Curry no-look 3. Stevens threw the pitch and immediately turned around and got the strikeout.
He knew it was good the second he released it.
Alejandro Garcia hits a first pitch chopper to third. Nice snag by Holcomb. Throw to first is in time. Oh, what a play from the big third baseman, Braden Holcomb. And it's 2 up, 2 down here in the top of the 8th inning.
Those are skills that he gets from being a first baseman part of the time. He's a really, really great guy and a great player.
Now batting from Northwestern, number 46, Ryan Kucherak.
So it's a pinch hitter now up for the Firebirds. Ryan Kucherak out of Northwestern stands in. He's just 0 for 6 on the season, but has reached a pair of times on a couple of walks. That hit very high, stays in the infield. The shortstop Waite makes the catch for out number 3, and it's a very quick 1-2-3 in the top of the 8th. The Bourne Bats come back up in the bottom of the 8th, searching for insurance. It's 8-9-1 due up. You're watching the Bourne Braves Broadcast Network on Cape League TV.
Get ready for big results with our small machines. With more power, performance, comfort, and savings, they're ready for every job. And we're ready with plenty of inventory, the best support in the business, same-day parts availability, and locations across the Northeast. So you can always be ready to work. Milton Cat, always ready.
There hasn't been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed. You can improve your bat speed and reach your goals working 10 to 15 minutes a day on this a couple of times a week. That's a no-brainer for every player.
We're in the bottom of the 8th inning. And Bourne sends its number 8 hitter to the plate, Campbell Smithwick, to lead things off. Bravos lead 6-3. Looking to end a 5-game losing streak.
They've done everything so well today. Really have a good shot at breaking that losing streak and setting the course straight for the future.
Coltriba steps off. Left-hander out of UC Santa Barbara in his 3rd full inning of work. Got into some trouble in each of his first 2. Gave up 2 runs in the 6th. Put 2 runners on in the 7th, but got out of it. Fastball in for a strike. 1-1. Here's the pitch. Called strike on a fastball. It's 1-2.
It's been so impressive how Bourne's been able to string in just consistent innings where they threat with runners on base.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Smithwick couldn't hold up, and he's now 0 for 4 on the day. It's the 5th strikeout for Triba.
There's only been 1 inning so far where Bourne have not put on a runner in scoring position.
Because of all this Bourne offensive success, the day is done for Coltriba. Kelly Nicholson out on the mound. Calls to the bullpen, so we'll step aside. When we come back, it is the number 9 hitter, Nick Groves, against a new pitcher for the Firebirds, Steele Murdoch. We'll tell you about him when we come back.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be the official banking partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod 5 offers a broad range of financial products and services tailored for every stage in your financial journey. Reach out to us. We're here to help.
If you can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group, protecting the possible.
Get ready for big results with our small machines. With more power, performance, comfort, and savings. They're ready for every job. And we're ready with plenty of inventory, the best support in the business, same-day parts availability, and locations across the Northeast. So you can always be ready to work. Milton Cat, always ready.
Now batting Illinois, number 8, Nick Groves.
The new pitcher into the game for the Orleans Firebirds is Steele Murdoch, a right-hander out of UC San Diego. He's been solid this season. In 4 outings, he's gone 4 innings and has an ERA at 2.25. He's given up just 1 run, and it was against Bourne. He got the loss in that outing because it was the Logan Hughes home run in the 9th that gave the Braves the lead. His first pitch to Nick Groves is a fastball that misses low at 93. Murdoch goes fastball, changeup, slider. Groves puts a bunt down, perfect one to the left side. Murdoch fires to first, and it's in time for the out. Fastball to the plate and a fastball to first base gets the out.
Yeah, I was going to say, if Murdoch doesn't have a 95-mile-per-hour arm on him, that's not an out at first base. And Groves has a 3-hit day.
But instead, Groves heads back to the dugout, and Riker Waite steps up, searching for a 3-hit day. He's 2 for 4 right now, but has reached 3 times because he also got on an error. Bourne's leadoff man has 2 RBIs. He scored a run. Looking to give his team some insurance before the 9th. First pitch low and inside, all the way up at 96 from Murdoch.
Batting back in the left side, too, as a switch hitter. He prefers the lefty's batter's box.
Big swing and a miss. That time 95, 1-1. The Firebirds will send 8, 9, and 1 up in the top of the 9th inning. And it will be Jonathan Stevens sent back out for Bourne to close things out. Slider swung on and missed. It's 1-2. That pitch runs inside. It hits Waite. Right on the elbow, and Riker Waite has reached base for the 4th time today.
Riker Waite has been really solid getting on base against these righty pitchers. .436 on base percentage going into this game against righties versus one a little bit lower at .375, but a clear difference when you look at those 2 marks. It's his power that's just better from the right side, slugging .500 against lefties.
Braden Holcomb stands in with 2 gone. Holcomb has a hit in 9 of his last 10 games, as another one would give the Braves another run.
Holcomb yet to really grasp that multi-hit game, though.
It's been all 1-hit games on that stretch.
And that's why his batting average has stayed rather low at 192. If you're telling me he has hits in 9 out of 10, you probably expect it to be higher than that. But
by the way, that's the 2nd stolen base of the game for Riker Waite, so he's up to 6 on the season, a perfect 6 for 6.
I think Scott Landers is realizing, probably looked at that Boca Raton stat sheet, saw 54 steals, and realized he should steal Riker Waite more.
Come on, Braden.
The 1-1 bounces off the plate.
See Waite there at second base. He still could make a move toward third.
Fastball, a called strike, low and away. Holcomb can give the Braves some more insurance with a base hit. That pitch bounces off the plate and goes to the backstop. Riker Waite was heading to third anyways, so he's now just 90 feet away with the count full. Cade Lewis on deck. This is the heart of the Bravos order. Holcomb wants to put this one away.
Come on, Braden.
The payoff pitch to Holcomb. This is outside, ball 4. Nice job by Braden Holcomb to work the walk, his 7th of the year, and it's runners on the corners for Cade Lewis, who's already brought in 2 runners this evening.
Really mature bat from Holcomb. We were talking about this pretty much in these last few games about Holcomb, how Holcomb has just developed a better eye for the baseball and deciding not to swing the bat to his own advantage.
Infield shifts to the right now against the lefty. Swing and a miss on the first pitch. So 1. Holcomb at second's got a lot of speed. We could see him potentially start a double steal. He's already got 1 stolen base today. And he's off to second. Pitch bounces away. Waite comes in to score. The Braves lead 7-3 here in the bottom of the 8th. Riker Waite scores his 2nd run of the day. He's now crossed home 10 times this season. The Bravos have some more insurance, and they can continue to add on with Holcomb at second.
You've got to wonder if when there's motion in the base path, it throws off Murdoch a little bit, because he's had 2 bad wild pitches so far, and both of them were when runners were stealing. One's for Riker Waite and one right there when Holcomb started moving.
1. Hard hit towards the Bourne dugout. Heads up.
Oh my God.
Braves just 2-5 at home this season. 0-2. Called strike 3 on a fastball right down the middle. Lewis knew it right away. He heads back into the dugout with the score. Braves 7, Firebirds 3. We're into the 9th. Bourne just 3 outs away from its first win in 5 games. You're listening to the Bourne Braves Broadcast Network on Cape League TV.
For the Plymouth Public House gift cards, 02909.
If you can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group, protecting the possible.
There hasn't been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed. You can improve your bat speed and reach your goals working 10 to 15 minutes a day on this a couple of times a week. That's a no-brainer for every player.
Bottom of the ninth, top of the. We're in the ninth inning. There we go. And Bourne is now just 3 outs away from picking up its first win since it beat Orleans 6 games ago. The Braves can end a 5-game losing streak today. Jonathan Stevens looks in and delivers his first pitch, a fastball called strike at the knees. It's 8-9-1 in this Firebirds order. Javar Williams, Jonathan Mendez, and Anthony Potestio. There have been some changes in the field for the Braves. Braden Holcomb is into center field. He was at third base before. And in at third base is Ryan Cooney, so John LeGrand is taking a seat on the bench. One. Swing and a miss. 1-2.
You're up by 4, but maybe you put a little bit of a stronger arm in center field, and that's the idea. I think we might not even have to worry about that, though, with how well Jonathan Stevens has been pitching this season and today.
Stevens puts down the Firebirds 1-2-3 in the 8th. He hasn't given up a run yet this season. And 8 innings of work.
One more, come on.
Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Elevated a fastball. And Williams swung right through it. It's the second strikeout for Jonathan Stevens this evening. And the Firebirds are down to their final 2 outs. It's the number 9 hitter, Jonathan Mendez, the DH, who's 1 for 3 today, who digs into the right-handed box. Pitch misses inside, and it's 1-0. Tonight's game, the first here at Durham Park in the month of July. Braves have had a lot of success at this field in July and August over the past few years. Looking to continue that here. 1-0, fastball upstairs, 2-0.
There's one place that's really dangerous to play. It's Durham Park in July and August. That's the way it's been for the last 4 seasons, and for good reason.
Here's the kick and the 2-0. Inside, 3-0 to Mendez. Potestio on deck. O'Shaughnessy in the hole. Firebirds looking to avoid dropping 3 in a row. The 3-0. Fastball right down Broadway.
Come back, Caesar, let's go.
The whole infield is playing back against Mendez. Stevens misses low and inside for ball 4. So a rare walk from Jonathan Stevens, just his second of the season. And maybe the Firebirds have some life here. Top of the order up. It's Anthony Potestio, the left-handed hitter, digging in with the Firebirds down to their final 2 outs, down by 4 runs.
This part of the lineup has been very dangerous. Just need to get guys on base against a really, really tough pitcher.
The pitch. In for a strike. Splitter inside. It's 0-1.
I guess if there's one spot we haven't seen Jonathan Stevens in this year is with a lot of runners on the base path and dealing with adversity. So we don't know how he can handle that, but he's been so good that he hasn't had to see it.
There's a line drive into left field. That gets down for a base hit. So now Stevens will face a bit of adversity here with 2 on and 1 out, and Michael O'Shaughnessy stepping up.
Number 10, Michael O'Shaughnessy.
He's been Orleans' most consistent hitter all season, the only Firebird to play in every game. And he's got an better as this day has gone on. Started off 0 for 3, but reached his last time up. Shaughnessy has 4 RBIs this year. With his team down by 4. He still needs to get on, and then Elijah Ikas on deck would represent the tying run. First pitch from Stevens. This is outside.
Oh, God, come on, find the zone, buddy.
That ball laced into right field, an easy play for Kahio Aloy. He makes the catch and a good throw in. So the runners stay where they are.
Now batting from Hawaii, number 15, Elijah Iquez.
So Elijah Iquez is the final hope for the Firebirds here in the bottom of the 9th inning. He's 2 for 3 today. 2 on, 2 out. Braves an out away from ending their 5-game losing streak. Here's the first pitch from Jonathan Stevens. It misses outside on a splitter. It's 1 out. The infield shifted to the left. Ryan Cooney playing tight on the line. Kicking the pitch. Fastball called strike, up and outside, 1-1. Outside splitter, it's 2-1. Jonathan Mendez is the lead runner at second. Anthony Potestio behind him at first. The 2-1 to Elijah Iquez is popped up. Shallow right field towards no man's land. Hughes slides and makes the catch for out number 3. Goodbye losing streak. Bourne back in the win column. 7-3 the final score over the Orleans Firebirds. And the Braves kick off the month of July at Durham Park with a W.
Just a complete game, Adam. One of the best games they've played all season. A really, really good effort from this pitching staff. And this offense just explodes. And in fact, gets 7 runs on the year, which might just be their most on the season so far, and it is. They haven't had more than 6. They just explode and don't get it in one inning, don't get it in a single part of the game. They do it across the entire game. Threat every single time. And that's the type of offense that Bourne has had the capability of showing this season with the dangerous and balanced bats that they have, but have not been able to convert on their runners in scoring position and threat each time, where sometimes offense would come separated and not together. And now they do it behind just an excellent day of pitching from Jonathan Stevens, Nate Wysong, and Colin Fisher, who all perform great and do exactly what they needed to get this win.
Without a doubt, I think that was the big thing today. The pitching was just flat out excellent. They only walked 5. They struck out 9 and gave up 9 hits, yet it didn't feel like it. It didn't feel like the Firebirds had that many guys on or that many guys in scoring position like it had in other games. They just played well. The Braves played with a lead and held that lead for pretty much the entire game. They went up in the bottom of the 3rd and never looked back from there. Just an overall really impressive win today from the Bourne Braves. 3rd win at home this season. The Braves move to 5-9-1 on the year. The Firebirds fall to 6-9 on the season. We will have a post-game interview with today's player of the game, Riker Waite. Before that, though, we would like to let you know that this broadcast is a copyrighted production of the Cape Cod Baseball League Any unauthorized duplication, retransmission, or other use is strictly prohibited.
We're just thrilled to offer you a post-game interview for the first time this season as well.
We are. We're very excited for our sideline reporter, Ariel Tamir-Pinsky, who is finding Riker Waite down on the field right now. It seems like she has found him. And so we will, in just one moment, send things down. Here we go. Ariel, take it away.
Riker Waite from Vanderbilt. Riker, you got on base 3 times tonight. You had 2 RBIs. You guys finally snapped that losing streak. How are you feeling?
Feeling really good right now. The guys needed this, and I think it's just more to come in the future now. We did a good job at pitching, hitting, running the bases, playing defense the whole game today, so it was a big win for us.
And you stole 3 bases tonight. How important is being aggressive in the base path to your personal game?
Yeah, it's huge for my game. I mean, that's literally my game. I mean, get on base, steal bases, score runs for my team, and then play good defense along with it, so it's huge.
You have been really strong at shortstop this season. You guys had 2 double plays tonight. What's the dynamic been in the infield when you don't have a consistent first and third baseman?
Yeah, I think adding Kelly and Cooney has been huge for us. And, I mean, me and Kelly have been huge up the middle. So, I mean, just doing a great job. And I think having them two has just helped us a lot. And, yeah, I mean, they're good infielders. So, I mean, that's what we needed.
Well, thanks. Congrats tonight.
Thank you.
Ariel, thank you so much, and thank you to John LeGrand as well for having some fun out there. Well, the Braves win it today 7-3, and we thank you all so much for tuning in to tonight's broadcast. Braves will be back in action tomorrow at home at 6 p.m. against the Wareham Gatemen, the first of the back-to-back games, as we are already at July 3rd. Man, it's crazy to say that. But once again, we thank you all so much for tuning into this game. For our producer, Gabriella, Voccio, my sideline reporter, Ariel Tamir-Pinsky, and my broadcast partner, Devon Jarvis, I'm Adam Gotkin saying so long, have a great night. Braves win it 7-3.